or visit adamm.com to find out why you're always better off at an Adam New Car dealer.
Get an oil change and safety inspection for trouble-free summer driving.
Stay and play in Lake Geneva, the Midwest's premier golf destination. With 10 challenging courses for all abilities and skill levels, breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Enjoy an all-inclusive golf getaway with luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. For course information and more, go to visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva. It's always been the place for legendary golf.
We spend more than 1/3 of our lives working, so ask yourself, are your career needs in sync with your goals? Are you satisfied with your career? Are you feeling unmotivated? Feel like your professional life hit a snag? At the LAK Group, their career coaching services help you make career moves that align with what's important to you. They work with individuals to help achieve career satisfaction. Let them help you discover your career with purpose. The LAK Group. Find your rhythm at transformingcareers.com.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Thanks for hanging out with us on this Thursday afternoon. One of the news stories that we've been talking about and all of Wisconsin's been talking about this afternoon is what Donald Trump said or did not say in meeting with the congressional delegation, the Republicans in Washington, D.C. This is how it all started. There was a report by Punchbowl News, a guy named Sherman, who said, according to him, Donald Trump said, Milwaukee, where we're having our convention, is a horrible city. Trump told the GOP lawmakers. That is the tweet that started it all. Lots of people are weighing in. Brian Stile, U.S. Congressman from Southeast Wisconsin, was in the room, and he is with us this afternoon. Congressman, thank you so much for making some time for us.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Did Donald Trump use the word horrible at all when referring to Milwaukee or issues in Milwaukee?
We talked about the challenges Milwaukee faces, and there's a lot of horrible things going on. I mean, a 9-year-old boy was shot and killed on the north side of Milwaukee in the early morning hours today. And so the broader conversation here is he wasn't disparaging the city. We were talking about the challenges in the city of Milwaukee, ranging from the elections challenges, where the election administrator had to be removed recently, to crime. You also see it in other areas where the Milwaukee Public Schools can't even produce their financial reports.
Okay, Congressman, there is context to this, so that's good. I'm glad that you're providing that. But he did say Milwaukee is a horrible city. Is that what he said?
I don't think that he did. I mean, I was in the room. It was a wide-ranging conversation. My recollection is that he did not say that it was a conversation on specific issues, but he definitely didn't disparage the city. And that's the broader attempt that the Democrats are trying to drive forward in a media narrative. I'd actually encourage everyone to come and listen to President Trump when he comes to Racine on Tuesday and see for yourself firsthand about how he discusses not only the state of Wisconsin, but the challenges we face as a country and the policies that we need to put in place to get our country back on track.
So other members of the Wisconsin Republican delegation are not denying that he said it. Glenn Grothman is trying to say why he believes he said it, but he's not denying it was said. Tom Tiffany says he was in the room and it was said, but here's why. He said it was about election integrity. Derek Van Orden said it did happen, but he was referring to the crime rate in Milwaukee. So it's like some say it was about crime, some say it was about election integrity, but they're all saying that indeed he did say that where we're having our convention is a horrible city. My question is, should a guy who wants to be the next president of the United States in any context be referring to a major American city as a horrible city?
But again, I don't think that's the context anybody even is discussing this in. The context of this is even being discussed in is that there's key policies that are horrific. The crime in Milwaukee is horrific. Again, a 9-year-old boy was shot and killed on the north side of Milwaukee. The car thefts, the murders are still way too high. And so the fact that we should be having a conversation about the challenges we face in the largest city in the state of Wisconsin, across the largest cities across the entire country, and a broad-ranging conversation that we had about what we need to do to get this country back on track. People may have different recollections. I don't believe that he said that. But the broader context here is that no one is arguing that he disparaged the city as the media is trying to report in some outlets. The focus here is a conversation about how there are certain challenges that we truly do face in the city of Milwaukee and what policies need to be put in place to get ourselves in the right direction.
Context is always important. We have U.S. Congressman Brian Stile on the line. Congressman, this is the quote: Milwaukee, where we have our convention, is a horrible city. Did he say that? Is that what you heard?
I was not recording. I wasn't taking notes. I don't believe he said that. What I am providing, though, for sure, that everyone who is in the room agrees with is the broader context here that we're talking about is the president never disparaged the city of Milwaukee and was talking about specific challenges that we face in our nation's largest cities.
Congressman, I know you're an admirer of Ronald Reagan. Can you see a scenario where Ronald Reagan or George W. Bush would have used this language, would have talked about a major American city like this?
I think President Trump uses direct language, and I think in many ways that's really effective to get a message across. There's a private conversation with a group of people. Again, I don't believe that he said it, but everybody was in the room. Everybody is open to their own recollection. But what everybody agrees with is that there was no disparaging comment about the city of Milwaukee. And so I don't think that President Trump or President Reagan would disparage the city of Milwaukee, the hardworking people in the city. But I do think we would all recognize that there are real serious challenges that we face in the city of Milwaukee. And the idea that we're going to have a conversation not about the challenges we face, but about whether or not there were disparaging remarks where no one is arguing that. What we're really having a conversation about is the fact that crime in Milwaukee is way too high. The fact that we are now about 5.5 months out from an election and the city of Milwaukee is having to change out their election administrator. The fact that we have a school district in our state's largest city that can't even provide their financial information, in particular, after going to voters and requesting more money. These are horrific challenges that require broad, bold policy solutions to address. The broader narrative that's trying to be painted that disparaging remarks were made is absolutely false.
So, Congressman, no one would ever accuse the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce of being a left-leaning organization, and they put out a statement. They felt like they needed to put out a statement to defend our city, and their leader, who is a former Republican state senator and a conservative, put out a statement that says Donald Trump's comments are flatly wrong. And then he went on to defend the city of Milwaukee. My question here is, when you have MMAC and their conservative leader feeling the need to put this out, the direct language is your term that you use to describe Donald Trump's language. Is it harmful when now we're weeks away from the convention and the leaders of MMAC are putting out a statement saying Donald Trump is wrong about this?
Well, it's harmful when the media narrative is so aggressive that they're trying to make an argument that the president disparaged the city. Anything could be further from the truth. Everyone in the room knows he didn't disparage the city. There was a conversation about the policies that need to be put forward. A quote was put out there with no context. Again, I don't think that's what he said. Many people were in the room. Nobody was taking notes or recording it. It was just a broad, wide-ranging conversation about everything about how inflation is clobbering American families to how the broken border under President Biden is having real serious impacts in communities across the state. And again, if people want context to truly understand the policies that we can put forward to get ourselves once again in the right direction, the best way for people to do it, rather than listen to the broad media spin, would be to come and listen to the president directly when he comes to Racine, Wisconsin next week, Tuesday. I'll be there. Others should tune in. People should hear it directly from the president himself, not through one-off tweets. It's one of the broader challenges we face in this information world is that quick tweets drive a narrative rather than broad policy conversations that are actually really essential to get our city and our state moving in the right direction.
U.S. Congressman Brian Stile, on a busy day in the nation's capital. We do appreciate you making some time for us. Thank you, Congressman.
Especially since you were in the room. I appreciate that you came on with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
So the MMAC, that statement I was referring to, said this, and no one's ever accused them of leaning to the left or being part of the mainstream media. This is MMAC. Donald Trump's comments are flatly wrong. Milwaukee, in a word, is vibrant. We're proud of our people, diverse in makeup and hardworking to the core. We're proud of our strong history and bright future in economic development, deeply rooted in innovation with a tradition of driving progress in American manufacturing for over a century. We're proud of the Fortune 500 companies headquartered in our city. We're proud of our cultural assets. We look forward to showing the world that Milwaukee has what the Milwaukee has to offer next month. We know this city will impress. The politics of all this, we will get into the politics of all this Wynn in Washington, D.C. ABC News joins us coming up in just a couple of minutes here on WTMJ. When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show.
Wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
Hey, Otto's Wine and Spirits. What a great place this is. They've got a huge selection. They've got the best prices. They've got multiple locations. Otto's Wine and Spirits. It's where I shop for wine. It's where I just bought some seltzer and some beer. And Tito's, that's kind of my drink. Otto's Wine and Spirits is where I pick it up. Employee-owned, super friendly staff. Those locations are in Milwaukee, Elm Grove, Brown Deer, Cedarburg, Menominee Falls. Open 7 days a week. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits. They've got an exclusive email club that allows you to get great specials on hand-picked wines. I use that all the time. Check out the place I go when I need to stock up. Otto's Wine and Spirits. It's ottoswineandspirits.com.
The surgeons that I know are good people. They just want to do what they can to help you feel better. And the surgeries they perform can do wonders for their patients. But medicine's a business, and surgery is the big-ticket item. And there are surgeries that are absolutely necessary. In almost all cases, a total knee replacement isn't one of them. It's a last resort. So before you opt for a total knee replacement, if you haven't been to Rejuvenex, you may find that we have treatments that can give you the relief you're looking for. They're FDA approved, and they can alleviate pain, in many cases significantly. And insurance could cover a big portion of, if not all of our treatment costs. The osteoarthritic pain you're feeling will only worsen, and that's why you should take action now. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Rose Gray from Fox World Travel here to bring you exciting news. In partnership with Globus, Insight Vacations, and Avalon Waterways, our 2025 Fox Group Vacations collection is now available. Whether you want to explore Europe, Hawaii, Asia, or beyond, by land or river, our award-winning Fox Group Vacation experts have handcrafted exclusive experiences for people seeking to explore the world. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Join us and make memories to last a lifetime.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. For convenient car shopping and financing, visit Heiser Automotive Group at one of their 4 locations: Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Or visit Heiser.com, because today's your day.
Traffic and weather. All right, Jessica, how we doing?
Hey, John, we're not doing too bad. 94 westbound actually looks slightly improved right now. There is still a crash to watch out for, though. That's going to be westbound at the ramp from Mitchell Boulevard. That's blocking the right shoulder. And there is still a crash blocking a lane on 43 South if you're in Ozaukee County. That's going to be near Port Washington. It's the right lane closed at the ramp from Highway 33. Again, that's on 43 southbound. And back in Milwaukee County, still seeing some slowdowns build up on 43 southbound and northbound between downtown and about Silver Spring. I'm Jessica Gatso with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear, cool, a low of 61 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 77. Saturday, chance for late evening showers, a high of 73. On Sunday, more rain is possible, a high of 86. On Monday, sunny, hot, and humid, a high of 90. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 87 degrees.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, number 1 is pretty interesting. We've been staying on top of the bird flu epidemic, how it's affecting our dairy cows. Right. State Fair is right around the corner. Wisconsin fairs are now requiring any lactating cows to test negative for avian flu before traveling to any county fairs.
This is big news for people who show at the fair.
It is. What if they test positive and then...
Yeah, then what happens next? We'll be broadcasting live from the State Fair, by the way, the whole run of the fair when that happens in August. The second of the three at 3. Starbucks is rolling out a pairings menu. It's the latest entrant into the value menu wars. Here are the options. Option number 1, for $5, a Starbucks customer can order a tall iced or tall hot coffee or hot tea with a croissant for $5. Second option will cost you $6. Also includes the tall iced or hot coffee and a breakfast sandwich for $6. You're a Starbucks girl. Is this appealing?
I'm at the edge of my seat. I always have to take a Starbucks run. This is fantastic.
It's going to be popular. They're pretty excited, and their stock has been reflecting that too. It is up.
Every time, it's at least $6 or $7.
Yeah.
Just for the drink.
Now you can get a little deal.
Hey, yesterday, Milwaukee officially hit its hottest day. We reached 90 degrees yesterday in
90?
the afternoon. Yes, according to the data from the Wisconsin State Climatology Office. This has brought really close to Milwaukee's all-time record of 95 degrees set in 1956.
More hot weather is on the way. Chief Meteorologist Brian Nisnansky joins us later on in the show, and he will detail it out. All right, we were just talking about what happened with Donald Trump and Republicans in that caucus and what he did or did not say about Milwaukee. If you want to hear that, right now we will be podcasting that coming up. So keep in mind a little bit later on, you can always text the word WAN, W-A-N, and get all the content in the show. What did happen, and what are the implications moving forward with those meetings that took place in Washington today? M. Wynn, ABC News, with us right after this short break. Town Bank. Let me tell you a little bit about Town Bank. I've been at Town Bank for quite some time. They are Wisconsin's bank. They're part of the Wintrust family of community banks. They are the real deal. When I talk about Town Bank and I think about Town Bank, I think about two things. They have at Town Bank the best banking solutions. I've got total access checking, free ATMs nationwide. And I have a daughter in New York and a daughter in Dallas, so that comes in very, very handy. They also have the best customer service. And I know what you're thinking. It used to be what I thought. I don't really go into the bank very often. What do I need good customer service for? Because they have the most robust customer service online. There's going to come a time when you're using your online banking or you're dealing with the app or you're doing something like that through your phone where you need some help and you have a question. Town Bank has the best online customer service. Banking solutions and customer service. It's Town Bank. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results. Start earning more. Start thinking a little differently. Start thinking with Town Bank. Go to townbank.us to check it out. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC.
Come escape to Lake Lawn Resort. Enjoy stunning lakeside views, on-site golf, award-winning spa, and numerous dining options, including 1878 on the lake. Dive into the pools, explore water sports, or relax by the lakeside fire pits. Experience Lake Lawn Resort's newly renovated guest rooms, part of a multi-million-dollar upgrade for ultimate comfort and luxury. Whether it's a romantic getaway, family vacation, or corporate retreat, Lake Lawn Resort has it all. Book your stay at Lake Lawn Resort today and discover the perfect blend of adventure and relaxation.
Champagne's not as cheap as ginger ale, and you can't buy caviar for the same price as candy. But right now, you can buy the highest-end Beautyrest Black and Tempur-Pedic mattresses for nowhere near their highest-end prices. Hassellus Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models. These mattresses are the best, and you can get them for way less. Like the Split King Tempur-Pedic Luxe Breeze in soft or firm was $10,198, now just $25,448. Or the Queen Beautyrest Black L-Class Firm was $26,99, but the floor model is just $13,49. Plus, save with massive markdowns on adjustable bases, starting at $287. It's like buying a Rolls Royce for $10,000 just because it sat on the showroom floor. Selection is limited. Only a few floor models are available at each Hassellus location. And when they're gone for good. Find a self-service, employee-free showroom near you at hassellus.com.
Wisconsin Harley-Davidson is ready to get you on the road for all your summer events this riding season. June 15th features a ride from Casper, Wyoming, benefiting Wisconsin Hero Outdoors. Then on June 22nd, Wisconsin Harley-Davidson will have 2 rides from Milwaukee and Iron Ridge, benefiting veterans and the Wisconsin Guardian Foundation. All proceeds go to the Next Guardian Service Dog and Veteran Community Project. For more info, visit WISHD.com or find them on Facebook and search their events. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
All right, former President Donald Trump returned to Capitol Hill. The headline we've been talking about here, of course, is that Donald Trump supposedly said Milwaukee, where we're having our next convention, is a horrible city. And what context that was in has been up for debate. M. Wynn has been covering this story in Washington. M, I know it's kind of taken a deeper dive. But do you have any context or any information about what he might or might not have said about Milwaukee?
Well, what we understand at this time, of course, Milwaukee is the city where he will be accepting the Republican nomination next month. And during this closed-door meeting with, GOP congressmen, with House Republicans, we understand that he used the word horrible when talking about Milwaukee. Obviously, there are some people in the room that drew some disagreements about what Trump had meant during this time. But he apparently, from several congressmen who support the former president, said that he was arguing that he was, referring to crime and voter fraud. But certainly we ourselves were not in that room, so we can't say for certain. We also understand from another Wisconsin Republican, Glenn Grothman, he had told apparently in the Milwaukee paper that Trump was also concerned about the election and, quote, felt we need to do better in urban centers. So certainly Milwaukee came up a few times during this closed-door meeting.
The meeting in general. So he comes back to Capitol Hill for the first time since January 6th. Lots of praise for everybody in the caucus, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, big time. Was this meant to rally and bring the troops all together and make sure that they're marching to the same tune headed into November? Why did he go to the Capitol?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was the big reason he came here. He laid out his vision of what the future should look like. He pledged to support members today so they can, quote, win big in November. He obviously made some time to slam the current president on issues like inflation and immigration. And as you mentioned, he had very high praise for Speaker Mike Johnson. He kind of tried to rally up the members to make sure everyone had the same vision, had the same message moving into November. He wanted to make sure that they understand where he comes from as well. I think overall, Trump was really focused on sending this message of unity amongst his party. And it appeared from what we could see that everyone who attended, which was most members, were in agreement under Trump. No one, despite these previous breaks from the former president in the senator side or the House side, no one really said anything against Trump, whether that was to reporters or to him or to, just publicly in general. So overall, it appears as if the former president, we understand his advisors had said that he should be focused on the future, not the past. And so it seems that Trump really did mostly that. He appeared very disciplined today. He didn't take any questions from reporters. It wasn't any sort of chaos today. He didn't condemn any of his own members, things that we had seen in the past. So it appears as if he and, members that he had spoken to really brushed aside differences in the past in the interest of the Republican victory. It's a very close race heading into November. The debate is coming up in just a couple of weeks. And so it appears as if Republicans and the former president were really trying to show America that they are a party of unity.
ABC's M. Wynn in Washington. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks so much.
All right, let's check out the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update and see how everything did today. It was a mixed bag. The S&P ended up 13 points. The NASDAQ was up 59 points on the day. The Dow was off 65 points. It's kind of how it's gone lately, it feels like. Inflation isn't going away. Download your copy of Safeguarding Against Inflation, Strategies for Wealth Preservation at annexwealth.com/inflation. Coming up, Father's Day is this weekend. We've got some great ideas for you. The guys who run O&H Danish Kringle are going to be with us live in the studio. We'll do that coming up in less than 10 minutes. And gas prices. Speaking of a Father's Day gift, how about what it costs to fill up at the pump? Much lower than it was last year. What does that mean, and what does the summer likely hold? The top gas analyst in the country, Patrick DeHaan, is with us coming up at 3:46, right here on WTMJ.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue. More than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
St. Vincent de Paul at 76th and Bradley Road is having our grand opening celebration this Father's Day weekend, June 13th through the 15th. Doors open at 9 a.m. and everything's on sale, 20% off. There'll be some great food trucks, cool giveaways, and it's a great chance for thrifters to see a whole new store's worth of inventory and bargains. 76th and Bradley in Milwaukee. Don't miss our grand opening sale, June 13th through the 15th.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, let's talk Flanners for a second here. We're sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners. Just press play.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a child dead after an early morning shooting.
I'm Julia Fellow. What did the former president really say about the city of Milwaukee?
I'm Jessica Gatso in for Debbie Lazaga today. Looks like things are getting pretty slow on 894 starting at the Mitchell interchange. That slowdown is going to be at least a 3-minute delay heading westbound into the Hale. Also getting slower on 94 west by at least a couple minutes from downtown to the Stadium interchange. And 43 north and southbound looking a bit slow as well. If you're in Ozaukee County, it looks like that crash that was blocking the right lane on 43 southbound has finally been cleared, so those travel times should start to improve shortly. I'm Jessica Gatso with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, gradual clearing. It's going to become cooler, a low of 61. Tomorrow, pick day, mostly sunny. Get to see the sun. 74 at the lake, 77 inland.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, gun violence claims the life of a 9-year-old early this morning on Milwaukee's northwest side, near the intersection of Swan and Allen. TMJ4's Brendan Jones.
Shortly after midnight this morning, the 9-year-old victim was shot. That child was taken to the hospital in critical condition, but later died. That's according to Milwaukee police. Back in March, a 14-year-old was shot in the same area just a few blocks west from here. Police say anyone with information should contact Milwaukee police.
No arrests have been made. Police are searching for unknown suspects.
Charged in a second freeway shooting, 19-year-old Jael Riviera Jimenez of Milwaukee is now connected to a road rage shooting on I-43. The incident took place back on March 24th when he fired and struck another vehicle. Luckily, no one was injured. Rivera Jimenez is in custody after a May 20th road rage shooting on I-94. He now faces a total of 7 felonies in the 2 cases and up to 90 years in prison. He's being held in the jail right now.
The president never disparaged the city of Milwaukee and was talking about specific challenges that we face in our nation's largest cities.
That's Wisconsin Congressman Brian Stile minutes ago, providing context to a comment made by President Trump. Commentators on Twitter reporting that the former president called Milwaukee a, quote, horrible city. Congressman Stile, who is in the room, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News the focus of the conversation was missed.
The broader context here is that no one is arguing that he disparaged the city as the media is trying to report in some outlets. The focus here is a conversation about how there are certain challenges that we truly do face in the city of Milwaukee and what policies need to be put in place to get ourselves in the right direction.
Former President Trump will visit Racine on a campaign stop next Tuesday.
Another University of Wisconsin satellite campus is closing their doors. UW Fox Cities, a branch of UW Oshkosh, is shutting down to a to-be-determined date, according to the Outagamie County executive, Tom Nelson. The location is the third Northeast Wisconsin campus to announce their closure this year.
The big gig is 1 week away. Summerfest kicking off at Milwaukee's Henry Meyer Festival Park on Thursday. Milwaukee World Festival President and CEO Sarah Pancari tells Wisconsin's Midday News the secret sauce to the festival is its diverse lineup of musical talent.
We're really proud of the fact that you may disagree with the lineup or you may not see your favorite artist, but we know that there's something that you're going to come down here and discover, or you're going to see friends or have your favorite food or look at our beautiful lakefront.
The 2024 edition of the world's largest music festival includes 800 total acts.
The heat is back in southeast Wisconsin with temperatures in the 80s throughout the region. The Medical College of Wisconsin's Dr. Ben Weston tells Wisconsin's Midday News, as temperatures rise, the risk of heat stroke could be taken very seriously for those in the elements for a long period of time, as well as the very young and very old.
Now, that word stroke gives you a bit of a hint of what it means. It's not only having a high temperature, but also having neurologic symptoms, so confusion or altered mental status as well.
Your complete 5-day forecast is coming up in about 10 minutes.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. An off day for the Brewers as they prepare to welcome the Red Hot Reds to American Family Field starting tomorrow. It's the final day of Packers' 3-day mandatory minicamp in Green Bay today. The Celtics now lead the NBA Finals, 3-0 over the Mavericks. They could clinch the title tomorrow in Dallas. And Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final tonight in Edmonton, where the Florida Panthers hold a 2-0 lead over the Oilers.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:35.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
Everything they say in their ads is true and then some. Very fair price, no real estate agent fees or closing costs. They even switched the utilities out of your name.
Within weeks, we had closed and couldn't be happier.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
For your next night out, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel, your dinner destination. Aria, nestled on the second floor of St. Kate, is an artful dining experience that captivates with its culinary creativity. Delighting in its offering of artisanal American cuisine, the restaurant transcends tradition and leans into the realm of playful and inventive flavors. Come and experience the magic of Aria, where every bite is a work of culinary artistry. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Father's Day is this Sunday, and I've got a great idea how to help Dad celebrate. I hope this is how my family's going to help me celebrate. It's with some O&H Danish Bakery Kringle or another treat. Peter Olesen, fourth-generation owner of O&H, is with us. It's so good to see you.
So good to be back, John. Julia, thank you.
I'm fangirling right now.
I know. It's like having a rock star in the studio.
Oh, my goodness.
Seriously,
I'm
it's
such a
so
fan.
good. I want to start by asking you to describe what you brought in. This is a very special Kringle, and I can smell what's in here. Tell me about this special Father's Day Kringle.
I have 3 great treats to talk about today. But yes, right to the Kringle, back from the vault. We've been doing this for a few years now, right around Father's Day, and it is our whiskey Kringle.
That's so good.
Yeah.
There's whiskey in it, right?
Whiskey infused.
Tell us about it.
We partnered with a distillery, Glen Rothes, and we particularly picked this specific whiskey because it's aged in their bourbon casks, and that brings out this sweet vanilla notes that we infuse in our scratch-made house caramel. That's the basis of the filling. And then, of course, we have our traditional Danish pastry dough that makes up every Kringle, 36 layers of butter in there, 3 days to make. That's the foundation of every Kringle. And then on top here, we have a streusel. That's honey whiskey glaze topped with our sweet, creamy vanilla icing.
So there's whiskey in the topping, too.
A little bit.
Is there cinnamon in there?
No cinnamon. But it's a plethora of flavors that together in one bite just brings out a little hint of smoke even in there as well.
Yes, aroma.
How much Kringle would you have to eat to get a buzz? Because I might consume that whole Kringle.
You know, I hate to tell you, in the cooking process, cooks out that alcohol.
It
but
evaporates.
You still get
Burns
that.
off.
You still get that flavor, and that's what we're after.
If you're a whiskey connoisseur, this is so good.
It is. I love banana cream pie too.
Oh yeah, what else do you have over there?
Exactly. We have a variety of options. We brought our banana cream pie because we do this. We do this other times of the year, but we really do a lot of it for Father's Day, and that's really what I would say an Olesen family father favorite. It's one of my favorites.
Really?
It was my grandfather's favorites. My father adores it. So, of course, we got to have it, and it's been a staple at O&H for so many years. And again, scratch made, like just about everything at our bakery. Scratch made custard, just load it up with bananas. So you got to be a banana lover, and then topped with our rich velvety whipped cream.
I appreciate how much whipped cream you put on top, and I need it to be super
we can't
chilled.
Skimp on it.
Yes, it looks perfect.
It is. It's
what
lovely.
percentage of your business is Kringle?
It varies by our various parts of our business because we have our 5 stores locally. We sell nationwide through the mail. And then even Trader Joe's, you can find Kringle. So, but it's, globally, let's say about 50% of our business.
What's the, before we tell people how they can get their hands on some Kringle, what's the other treat that you brought? I'm
right.
salivating looking at this.
Not everyone's that whiskey lover or banana lover. So what better than a rich, royal, decadent Father's Day tort. It's our midnight chocolate cake, tons of cocoa. Yep.
Yes.
Take a look at it.
Take a look at that. It looks rich and yummy.
With caramel and rich chocolate silk.
Yeah.
Of course, then more chocolate because we cover it. We frost it in our chocolate buttercream. Again, all scratch made, of course. And then our scratch made caramel and fudge drizzled there on top. So it's rich, it's decadent, there's cocoa in it. But what better way to celebrate the hardworking, the grit of our fathers and this rich, enjoyable cake?
A glass of ice cold milk would be so good with that, right? Some good Wisconsin milk, some good Wisconsin Father's Day tort. That's fantastic.
Father's Day Sunday, everybody.
That's right, and we've got you covered. So head into one of their stores. They're sold a lot of places. Peter, I was talking to somebody upstairs who was recently in Denver. And they said they saw your stuff in Denver. Is that right? Do you sell it all over the country?
Well, we are nationwide in Trader Joe's. So if there's a Trader Joe's,
I think that was it.
You can find us seasonal releases, one flavor at a time. This year, there's five opportunities, 5 flavors. Cream cheesecake will be launching soon in stores, but it's limited. So find it, buy it, goes great in the freezer. And then when that flavor's done, it's not until that next seasonal release. But you know what? Nationwide through our website, www.ohddanishbakery.com, standard 2-day shipping straight to your door. There's still time, overnight shipping, to get this to your father here.
Ooh, there's still time.
There's still time.
Okay.
Yep. Order by noon tomorrow, overnight shipping, and they'll still be able to get it. Or if you live locally, we have our 5 stores. Always encourage you to order ahead because we never want you to leave disappointed. We'll bake that product specifically for you and leave it there for you. Stores.ohddanishbakery.com. Place your pre-order. Call us. We'd love to do that and help you celebrate Father's Day.
Stores.ohddanishbakery.com. You can still get that Kringle to your dad even if he's not in town.
Perfect.
I want to ask you a business question. So you're in Trader Joe's. That's a big deal for you guys to accomplish that. Congratulations. It says a lot about your product. When you talk about expansion, I've been at your main place, and I've gotten to make Kringle with you guys. It was one of the coolest things I ever did. And I see the love and the attention that goes into each individual item that you make for your customers. What are the challenges when you decide, we want to expand, we want to grow, we want to share this with the world? Are there business challenges that come along with that?
Absolutely. But growth is exciting. And then every product we make, we stay so focused and true to the processes that we know, that we've done well, and that make our product what it is. Foundationally, that's who we are. That's why we're still scratch made in all our fillings and icings and flavors, and have so much fun developing these new flavors for Father's Day. Challenges, sure, or opportunities is another way to look at it. And if you stay true to your core and the product you're making, that's when growth happens.
You can tell the breading. I don't know what you do, but it is so perfect on this Kringle.
It's so good.
Is
it the layers? Is it the butter? What is it?
It's butter and it's process. It's methods. That takes us 3 days to make that. It has since my great-grandfather started doing it. It still does today. And it's that focus on excellence that I think sets that apart. Layers of butter, you taste it as you're eating every slice.
Yes.
And that's our hope, that's our goal. And we have a lot of team members that are really focused on doing that.
I've known your dad for a long time, and he's taught me a lot of things about cooking and about customer service and about how to treat people the right way. I think he told me his favorite Kringle is almond, maybe. What's at the top of your list, Peter?
I guess the nut doesn't fall far from the tree. Almond is my favorite as well, but I will say we came out with our Wisconsin Kringle when Kringle became the official state pastry in 2014 because we'd already been using these great Wisconsin ingredients, so we put them all together. Cream cheese, Door County cherries, cranberries in one flavor. So I will say that's a very close second, but it's hard to pass up that traditional almond.
As guys who deal in Kringle for a living, is it okay for you to give your dad Kringle on Father's Day, or do you got to have to think outside the box?
I'll tell you, banana cream pie is going to be at our celebration this Sunday, but there will be Kringle too.
That's absolutely fantastic. All right, give us the website again so people can order this Kringle for Dad wherever he is.
Ordering nationwide is www.ohdanishbakery.com, and ordering for local pickup is stores.ohdanishbakery.com.
Okay, so check it out. You can Google it if you didn't get that written down. You can find it. It's easy to find. And pick one up for your family, even if Dad's not living at home. I call this a perfect Sunday morning. You have Kringle, you wake up, you have that coffee.
Little hygge.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's absolutely. Tell people what hygge is.
Hygge, it's a Danish sentiment for really slowing down and just enjoying and appreciating life and the good things in life. It's that conversation over a cup of coffee with Dad, with your friend, and just appreciating what you have and not dwelling on anything else.
Peter Olesen, fourth-generation owner of O&H Danish Bakery. They're the Kringle people. You're the best, Peter. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me.
It is 3:45 at WTMJ. Up next, gas prices are 40 cents cheaper than they were a year ago. What's up with that? We'll talk to the gas buddy straight ahead.
I'm Jessica Ty. History made. Just about 90 minutes ago, the Starliner blasted into space.
And I'm Greg Matzik. Dr. Keith Posley, who submitted his resignation after state and federal officials raised alarms about operations at MPS.
I love the fact that people were taking showers early this morning and thinking about our conversation yesterday as to whether you wash your feet or you just let the soap slide on down.
You know, we got to get that in the promo. The goal of this program, Wisconsin's Midday News, is to get you thinking about us while you're in the shower.
Wisconsin's Midday News.
On WTMJ.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you outdoors because we get you. Whether you're headed across town or across the country, we get you tires and batteries, trust and care during our summer tire sale. Right now, 18-ounce cans of Avalanche refrigerant, $27.99, 15% off Carl Star specialty tires. All Blazer trailer lighting, 15% off for rewards members. And select DeWalt push-lock pliers or 8-piece screwdriver sets, your choice, $19.99. Tires and batteries, trust and care at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Rose Gray from Fox World Travel here to bring you exciting news. In partnership with Globus, Insight Vacations, and Avalon Waterways, our 2025 Fox Group Vacations collection is now available. Whether you want to explore Europe, Hawaii, Asia, or beyond, by land or river, our award-winning Fox Group Vacation experts have handcrafted exclusive experiences for people seeking to explore the world. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Join us and make memories to last a lifetime.
Hey, John Mercure here for my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating. You know what? It's pretty hot today. What is it, 87 degrees? I finally said to Michelle, maybe we turn the air conditioning on today. She's working from home today. I meant to text her. I wonder if she's got our Dave Drake Camp system fired up. If she does, I know it's cooling things down because we get the checkup from Dave Drake Camp. So they make sure everything is ready to go. It's going to get hot. The 15-day outlook is that we're going to be in the 90s several days next week. Get in touch today with my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating. Whether you need a tune-up, they'll come in and check you up. Whether you need a new system, they'll give you a free estimate. Or whether you have a little bit of an issue, maybe something you've been putting off, let my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating come in and take care of you. They've been doing it here in Wisconsin for over 42 years. They live here. They know the climate, hot and cold. They know how to handle it. It's Dave Drake Camp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition and has been for a very long time. They've been coming to my house for more than a decade. I'm glad they protect my family's comfort. DaveDrakeCamp.com, DaveDrakeCamp.com.
I'm Jim Token, president of the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. Nobody can keep your car running smoothly like an Adam new car dealer. Adam service technicians are factory trained and use original factory parts backed by a warranty. Best of all, you'll find competitive pricing equal to or even lower than independent shops. A well-maintained car delivers maximum gas mileage and saves you money. Call an Adam dealer today because you're always better off at an Adam new car dealer.
Get an oil change and safety inspection today.
Traffic is sponsored by Two Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Traffic and weather, let's go to look outside with Jessica Gatso.
Thanks, Julia. We've got some slowdowns worsening this afternoon, mostly on 94 in both directions. Westbound from downtown to the zoo, that's at least a 3-minute delay, and eastbound is a couple minutes slow as well. And keeping an eye on 41 southbound, those slowdowns are picking up between Mill and Capitol Drive. Also looking at the usual slowdowns on 43 north and southbound between Silver Spring and downtown. I'm Jessica Gatso with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Gradual clearing tonight. It becomes cool, a low of 61. Tomorrow, best day, mostly sunny, a high of 74 at the lake, 77 inland. Saturday, cloudy, a chance of storms and showers, mainly northwest. In the evening, a high of 73. Sunday, a chance of early showers, and they'll be warm and humid, a high of 86. Monday, 90 degrees will be the high. It'll be hot and humid.
I'm going to have to run, I usually run 4 or 5 miles a day. I'm going to have to run 10 miles today because of all that O&H bakery that's in here. It is absolutely fantastic. Check that out. You know what? We've got some really good news out there. Gas prices are lower substantially than they were last year. Let's bring in America's best-known gas analyst, GasBuddy.com. He's the best. Petroleum analyst Patrick DeHaan is with us. Patrick, it's good to catch up. Thanks for making some time for us.
Thanks for having me.
Gas prices, I think I'm right. Maybe the exact figure's not right, but they are down big time from last year. How much are they down, and why is that?
Yeah, they're down about 40 cents a gallon here across Milwaukee. Average price today, $3.34. In fact, I just saw a station below $3 pop up. And we could see more of that over the summer. Now, why it's happening? Well, demand has been a little bit disappointing, a little bit low, and that's allowed supply to build up. In addition, refineries finished their seasonal maintenance work without a whole lot of issues, and we made the transition to summer gasoline just fine this year. Typically, gas prices peak in April or May, and so far it's looking like that happened here again this year. And now with supply building, gas prices are declining.
I think people used to think that summer was the most expensive gas, and maybe it was, or maybe that was a myth. Can you explain that? A lot of people drive during the summer, but you said they've maybe already peaked, and that's typically what happens?
It is. Normally, there's maximum pressure on prices to go up in the spring when, at the height of refinery maintenance, we also make that transition over to summer gasoline. Now, once summer starts, refineries really want to be online. That would be akin to, Apple shutting down a key factory as it's rolling out a new iPhone. Refineries want to be online and cranking up gasoline supply in summer because that's when demand is at its highest. So usually after that maintenance is done, they start ramping up utilization. That's what's happened this year. That is pushing up supply. And like I said, with a little bit of lackluster demand, that's really helped accelerate the downward trend in prices. And, absent a summer refinery outage or major hurricane, it's pretty likely that we could have already seen our peak for the year.
That's good to hear through the summer that it will stay low, but what about the fall?
Well, gas prices are seasonal. They're low in winter. They rise in the spring and start to level off from those levels. In the fall, we usually fall. I think that adage, clocks spring forward in the spring, they fall back. That's usually what happens to gas prices, too.
All right, I want to ask you a little bit about OPEC. Do they still have the same influence that they have had traditionally?
Well, their influence has varied with time, but the U.S. is the world's largest oil producer by far. U.S. oil production took a bit of a hit during COVID, as you would expect, with oil prices down in the dumps. It didn't make much sense for oil companies to produce, but Now, in the last couple of years, U.S. oil production back above 13 million barrels. It's at record-setting levels. We're probably about 1 million to 2 million barrels more of production in the U.S. than anyone else in the world. But OPEC controls still about a third of the world's oil production, about 35 million barrels a day. So they still do have some relevance.
How about the war in Ukraine, Patrick? What sort of effect is that having, or are we kind of past the effect that has had?
Yeah, the risk has really subsided. Back in 2022. Prices spiked because of the potential risk and sanctions. Nobody really knew if that oil was going to flow into the market. Here we are, 2.5-ish years later, and there's not really much impact anymore. I mean, it would probably help oil go down a little bit if Russia wasn't sanctioned, if the war ended, but it's really such a negligible impact nowadays.
Patrick Dahan with GasBuddy.com. I read California has the most expensive gas. I think they traditionally do. Is that because of taxes? Because it's hard to get the gas there? Why is that?
Yeah, a lot of the differences state to state has to do, number one, with taxes, which the function of politicians. But then secondly, California also has a special blend of gasoline. It has a low carbon fuel standard. It has a cap and trade program. So it's not just taxes, though California's gas taxes are the highest. It's all of these other issues and regulation that basically have really reduced competition.
Any other states do that, Patrick?
Well, I mean, when you look at it, California really cranks up the gasoline taxes and the regulations. I can't think of any other state where we see, anything similar. Thankfully, here in the Midwest, it's kind of the opposite. In fact, Wisconsin has some of the lower gasoline taxes in the region. And that's why the state average today is, kind of in the lower third of all U.S. states.
So, Patrick, you mentioned this earlier. We have that special summer blend of gas that we have to use here. Is that an antiquated method of trying to protect the environment? Does it still hold water? Should we still be doing that? Are we still dealing with that?
Well, we are. We deal with the fragmentation. There's only 6 counties in southeast Wisconsin that require this more onerous blend, what you could call reformulated gasoline. Only 6 counties in Wisconsin require it because of the population of Milwaukee down into Kenosha as well. And, is it antiquated? Maybe not, but it would make sense, to potentially use that beyond that. I mean, are we really only worried about, the air in some of these counties where there are more vehicles? And that's part of the reason why summer gasoline is usually behind such a big spike in prices, because it's not just summer gasoline, the cost of it. It's because you have all these different pockets and communities that some use summer gasoline, some don't. So it's kind of like a supply issue from that standpoint.
All right, you are the gas guy. What kind of vehicle do you drive?
Well, there's a couple. Usually I'm on the weekend, I'm on a motorcycle, but I have a 2018 Mazda CX-5. So I have a crossover, got a dog I got to carry around. It does pretty good, though, on the fuel economy.
I was thinking the same thing, John.
Are you allowed to have an EV, or is the gas guy not allowed to have an EV?
Ooh.
I would love to poke around with it because, I'm a car guy, too. I just happen to, all my vehicles take gasoline for now. But I'll tell you what, I have my interest has been piqued about getting one of these hybrid, EVs for 30 or 40 miles and gasoline for the rest. That's I think where the sweet spot might be.
Petroleum analyst Patrick Dahan, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
GasBuddy.com if you want more information on where things are. It is 3:56 at WTMJ.
Ascension says there's no evidence the recent cyber attack resulted in data being taken from electronic health records and other clinical systems. However, hackers did steal a small number of files that may contain protected health information. Medical College of Wisconsin executive Greg Wesley is the new president and CEO of the influential Greater Milwaukee Foundation. He succeeds Ellen Gilligan, who is retiring. Silligan Containers, which already has several locations in southeast Wisconsin, has a deal to acquire a building in the Crossroads Office Park near Waukesha. The seller is Kalmbach Media. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
There are multiple reports that Donald Trump said Milwaukee is a horrible city. A guy that was in the room spoke to us less than an hour ago, U.S. Congressman Brian Stile, and you can find that interview now. It was interesting. It was very, very fascinating to hear what he had to say. It's easy. Text the word WAN, W-A-N. You text W-A-N to 855-616-1620. You get taken to our podcast page, and it's right there at the top. Text the word WAN, W-A-N, to 855-616-1620, and you hear Congressman Brian Stile, who is in the room with Donald Trump, about exactly what was said about Milwaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
The Vollrath Company implemented a DocuWare content management solution from James Imaging Systems. Vollrath Director of Information Systems, John Sharp.
They've helped us upgrade from a previous version of our document management to automate our accounts payable processes, to store the invoices, to the three-way match, and really streamline those processes.
In addition to a DocuWare content management solution, the key to continued success is the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
And as an extension of our team, they've got intimate knowledge of why we've done some of the things that we do. And when we run into any issues, they're there to support us.
A DocuWare content management solution from the James Imaging Systems Solutions Group.
They know exactly where we are in our project cycle so that we've always got continuous improvement.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Connect Chiropractic. I was just there today. Dr. Alex gave me a little bit of an adjustment. You know, I've been out in the yard a lot. Been cutting down some trees, been working in the landscape beds, and that's hard. When you're my age, it's tough on your back and on your neck and all that stuff. Connect Chiropractic makes me feel like I can do it all, and I'm gonna go for a run tonight. Connect Chiropractic, taking care of me big time. They've got 2 offices, easy to get to. All the docs operate in both the offices, one in Delafield, just off the highway, one in Tosa, not far from Mayfair Mall. State-of-the-art techniques, easy and nuanced, a focus on long-term care and your health. It's Connect Chiropractic. Check them out today.
Come visit, learn, and discover at the recently opened Food and Farm Exploration Center near Stevens Point in Plover, Wisconsin. The 50,000 square foot Science and Technology Center is a place to take the entire family. Experience over 60 interactive exhibits, a children's play area, demonstration farm fields, and home to the world's largest potato masher. The Food and Farm Exploration Center is a place for connecting with food and those who grow it. Just a short drive from Milwaukee. Plan your visit today at explorefoodandfarm.org.
Finally, I made it. I'm at Wisconsin's Morning News Fest. Let's see what we got over here.
Tell me why ain't nothing but I know the words.
All right, that guy doesn't even know the words. Something over here, maybe?
If you want my body and you think I'm sexy.
Whoa, all right. Yikes. There's got to be a better option than this.
There is. Join WTMJ at Summerfest as we broadcast live all 3 weekends from our Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
We're sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
The countdown to the Republican National Convention is on. Keep it tuned here for interviews, headlines, and everything you need to know for the RNC. It's Decision Wisconsin, only here on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4:01. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, no longer managing MPS's money.
I'm Julia Fellow. What exactly was said in the room with the former president?
I'm Jessica Gatso in for Debbie Losica today. Taking a look at your roads, you'll definitely want to plan some extra time. Things are getting pretty slow in quite a few spots right now. 94 westbound, that's at least a 4-minute delay between downtown and the zoo. And going on 41 southbound, that's at least about a 5 to 6 minute delay between Highway Q and the zoo. Taking a look at the Mitchell interchange, looks like 894 west is going to be about a 5-minute delay. Westbound heading to the Hale interchange. And then looking at 43 southbound, that's going to be about a 4-minute delay between about Silver Spring and downtown. I'm Jessica Gatso with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight becoming cooler, a low of 61. Tomorrow sunny, a high of 77 degrees. It's currently 85. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Chief Financial Officer of the Milwaukee Public Schools, Martha Kreitzman, has retired from the district, effective immediately. The Milwaukee Board of School Directors has designated financial consultant Todd Gray to manage the day-to-day financial operations moving forward. This comes ahead of the board meeting tonight, which has 3 big agenda items.
First, they plan to approve the corrective action plan submitted to the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction on Tuesday. They will also identify an MPS designee to handle any revisions. Progress with the corrective action plan is critical to the release of DPI funds. Next, the board will vote on the budget, which must be approved by July 1st. It can still be revised until October 1st. Finally, the board plans to meet in closed session to begin selecting an interim superintendent. Tonight's board meeting is open to the public. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Being in the room where it happened, Twitter exploded. X, that's what it's called now, after a report of a comment from former President Donald Trump, where he allegedly called Milwaukee, quote, a horrible city. Wisconsin Congressman Brian Stile just joined us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News and was in the room when the comment was made. He shares his experience with us.
I think President Trump uses direct language, and I think in many ways that's really effective to get a message across. There's a private conversation with a group of people. Again, I don't believe that he said it, but everybody was in the room. Everybody's open to their own recollection. But what everybody agrees with is that there was no disparaging comment about the city of Milwaukee.
Stile said there was more context to it. The conversation revolved around serious issues facing the city of Milwaukee, including crime, election interference, and the financial issues MPS is now facing.
The opportunity for a second chance for Milwaukee's homeless.
Pending renovations, the Hillview Hall Rehabilitation Project will welcome and house homeless and low-income individuals. Department of Health and Human Services Administrator James Matthey says they will focus on those who are
maybe refusing for shelters, have a lot of mental health challenges, that just can't tolerate roommates.
The facility was recently purchased by Milwaukee County, and Matthey says that gives them unique opportunities.
So we won't have to have time limits. We don't have to worry about the backgrounds of our different clients. We can meet them where they're at.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Summerfest is 1 week away from returning to Milwaukee's lakefront, and some are wondering if the annual music festival should extend its footprint beyond Henry Meyer Festival Park.
That question was posed to Pabst Theater Group Executive Director Gary Witt on WTMJ's The Upswing Wednesday. Witt says Summerfest should close earlier and offer late-night shows at locations in downtown Milwaukee.
It should be at restaurants and bars and coffee shops where artists can appear, and it becomes a real experience for people who travel to the city of Milwaukee.
But Milwaukee World Festival President and CEO Sarah Pancari tells Wisconsin's Midday News their focus in the near term is likely to remain at the fest grounds.
We've seen an 80% increase in total events down here at the festival park.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Coming up, sports on WTMJ.
Siding Unlimited is up at WTMJ News Time 4:06.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Your home's defense is crucial. Defensive failure is offensive to you. Siding Unlimited is your home's best defensive coach. Windows, roofing, decks, and of course, siding. Siding Unlimited is it. Windows? Siding Unlimited handles several great brands. They are one of only 5 Pella Platinum Premium installers in the whole country. The only one around here. Doors and decks, roofing, siding. Yes, 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 and yes. Nobody can beat Siding Unlimited. When you deal with Siding Unlimited, you'll get honest pricing, guaranteed. What is that? Well, no gimmicks, none of that BOGO, buy one now, get blah, 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 chin boogie. This is what it will cost you, period. Honest pricing. Bolster your home's defense with the best defensive team ever. SidingUnlimited.com.
Stay and play in Lake Geneva, the Midwest's premier golf destination. With 10 challenging courses for all abilities and skill levels, breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Enjoy an all-inclusive golf getaway with luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. For course information and more, go to visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva. It's always been the place for legendary golf.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Citing a limited WTMJ News Time 4:08.
The CDC has warned of an increased risk of injury and overdose after the Department of Justice indicated 2 executives of a telehealth company for allegedly providing medications to people who did not need them.
The CDC says it's concerned for people who may turn to dangerous black market alternatives if it gets harder for them to acquire certain drugs like Adderall. This comes after a DOJ crackdown on a telehealth company, Dun Global, whose services the CDC says 30 to 50,000 people. Dun Global is accused of providing medications to people who didn't need them and distributing about $100 million worth of Adderall. The CDC says there are already shortages of legitimate Adderall in the U.S. Emlyn, ABC News, Washington.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Brewers back in action tomorrow against the Reds at American Family Field. And it's the final day of the Packers' 3-day mandatory minicamp in Green Bay.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 4:09.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Had a very interesting conversation with U.S. Congressman Brian Stiles. So one of the big news stories today is that Donald Trump went to the Capitol, spoke to congressional Republicans, and you know what? Milwaukee came up. There were reports from a blogger that Donald Trump said that Milwaukee is a horrible city, and the comments were made with no context. So that was what Donald Trump allegedly said, was that Milwaukee, where we're having the convention, is a horrible city. So Brian Stiles, U.S. Congressman from Southeast Wisconsin, was in the room as part of the Republican delegation. Brian Stiles said Trump didn't say that. Other members of the Wisconsin delegation were also in the room. They said that Donald Trump did say that about Milwaukee, but the context was they said he was talking about election integrity, he was talking about crime, he was talking about public schools. So we had Stiles on, and we said, what's the deal with what the president said? Did he say it or not? And initially, Brian Stiles told us he didn't say it. Then we said, well, here's what the other guys claim that he said. And Brian Stiles said, well, I don't really remember him saying it. We weren't taking notes. I didn't record anything. I didn't write anything down. And the conversation kind of went from there. It was a fascinating conversation. You can hear that conversation by texting the word WAN, W-A-N, to our talk and text line. That number is 855-616-1620. So you text to 855-616-1620, the word WAN, W-A-N. It stands for Wisconsin's Afternoon News. So you text there and you get the podcast page. It has that interview up there. I thought it was an interesting interview.
It was. Hey, I want to mention something special. A special website was just created this Pride Month to talk about members of Milwaukee's LGBTQ plus community. It's interactive. If you text PRIDE to 855-616-1620, it'll take you straight there. It talks to people young and old who are gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and the history of what it was like to grow up here in Milwaukee as laws changed and the city became more inclusive. Some spoke about the difficulties of legalizing same-sex marriage, including activist Jan Warren shared when a same-sex couple tried to get a marriage license here in the city of Milwaukee back in the 1970s. Take a listen.
Went to City Hall to ask for a marriage license, and they refused to give them one. Donna was irate. She was fuming. She wasn't done at that point. So she went to the DA's office to demand that there's no reason that I can't marry this woman just because we're same sex. It shouldn't matter whatsoever. She eventually took it to the courts, but I think she gave up the fight because the pressure was on her partner. So now you must understand that being the time that it was, her partner's parents were not on board.
Others were honored who are no longer alive, like those who demonstrated after June 28, 1969, in Milwaukee's Cathedral Square for gay rights. It was after a popular gay bar in New York City called the Stonewall was raided by police, and it was called the Stonewall Riots. Again, you can text PRIDE at 855-616-1620. You'll be sent the link that was created. It has great production value and shows people young and old talking about their experience in the LGBTQ plus community.
It's 4:14 at WTMJ. Former Superintendent William Andrikopoulos on what should happen to MPS. He's with us live up next. When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
It's Father's Day weekend. Show your father and your grandfather your love with a free dinner at the award-winning Fox and Hound Supper Club. WTMJ's John Mercure here. When you buy one dinner, you get a second dinner free. Tonight and this Father's Day weekend, you buy one dinner, you get one dinner free. Dad can order his favorite steak, ribs, pasta, the pan-fried walleye. He can order all 6 of those if he wants, and you only pay for half the dinners. Anything on the menu, the second dinner is free. Desserts are buy one, get one free. The Father's Day brunch is everything your dad loves for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the all-you-can-eat kids and grandkids, and it's all you can eat, I should say, for the brunch. This kids and grandkids, 3 and under, they always eat for free at the Fox and Hounds. Right there in the Kettle Moraine Forest, it's beautiful, a one-of-a-kind Father's Day destination. I think you should check out the patio in the woods. Go for a cocktail. It's beautiful. And the Friday Fish Fry Father's Day weekend is all you can eat and one of the best. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. The summer drive is spectacular. The patio in the woods is a must-see. Your dad will love the Father's Day all-you-can-eat brunch or the free dinner this week. Call and reserve today. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
When was the last time you had a second opinion on your retirement plan? If you have $750,000 or more, schedule your retirement review with one of our fiduciary advisors at thekowalway.com.
Traffic and weather. Debbie's off having a good time in Europe. Jessica's here having a good time in the Weather Center. Hey, Jessica.
Hey there, John. Well, it looks like we've got a crash at the airport, actually. It looks like we've got Highway 38 north. We're at Grange Avenue. The right lane is blocked there. That's Highway 38 north at Grange Avenue. And taking a look at your slowdowns on the interstate, 894 west, that's going to be pretty slow from the Mitchell to the Hale, a delay of at least 4 minutes. And other major slowdowns on 43 southbound. That's at least a 5-minute delay between about Silver Spring and downtown. Also taking a look at 41 southbound. Looks like a 5-minute delay between Highway Q and the Zoo. I'm Jessica Gatso with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for tonight, cooler, a low of 61 degrees. Could get a little bit of rain before then. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 77. Saturday, chance for afternoon showers, a high of 73. On Sunday, early rain, a high of 86. And on Monday, hot and humid, a high of 90 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 84 degrees. There's an op-ed piece in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. This is the headline. Adults have failed children in MPS. It requires radical fixes to serve students. It's by the former longtime superintendent of the Milwaukee Public Schools, William Andrikopoulos. Bill, thank you so much for being with us.
Good afternoon.
So,
Pleasure to be with you.
Just today, as we come into the studio for the show, we find out that the chief financial officer, Martha Kreitzman, abruptly resigns before tonight's big meeting. She steps aside. The org chart, Bill, shows that half the financial positions in the district are now open with all this trouble going on. What does that tell you? If you were leading the district, how would you feel about that?
It's terrible. We got to find replacements. We got to do the best we can to bring people in to make a difference for children. It's very unfortunate. That's why I'm proposing the governor appoint a special commissioner to come in. You know, when a ship is sinking, John, you need a captain to yell, lower the lifeboats. And that's what we need for MPS. We need someone in charge that can steer the ship in the right direction. And then after that point, then we could decide on what the governance structure is. But governance is irrelevant right now. We need a leader, someone to steer the ship.
So you proudly led this district for a long time. Someone told me that used to be a board member and is not anymore in the school district, that they don't get the quality of candidates that they did 10 years ago and 20 years ago because of the state of the district. Is that a concern to you?
Certainly is a concern, but besides that, there's just a shortage of quality people. There's a shortage of superintendents. If you look at the national search firms and searching superintendents, most of the people that are hired are people that have inexperience. It's the same with principals. I was a teacher for 12 years before I became an assistant principal. Now people are 5-6 years before they become assistant principal. It just things have sped up. The baby boomers have retired. And now a new group is coming in and has left a void.
So now tonight, the MPS board is going to vote on the budget. Does that have any symbolism, or are others going to not take that very seriously and everything is still going to be audited? What's the meaning behind that vote when all of this is going wrong?
Well, the audit is for last year. The audit has nothing with moving forward for this year's. However, it does have an impact because there's some discrepancies between DPI and MPS on last year's money. Next year's aid is based on the last year's expenditures. So it's quite possible that the board is going to have to come back in the fall. If the state has said it's possible that $10 to $20 million short, they're going to be in aid because of how they reported their expenditures last year. So they're going to have to revisit the budget in the fall and hopefully not raise taxes because they just did that with the referendum.
Will any of the board members make any statements in public today, do you think, during the board meeting, or is that usually not the way to go about it?
Oh, no, they'll make statements. They will have open discussions. They'll probably have amendments to alter Keith Polsley's budget. They'll have long discussions. I used to have board meetings that go for the budget down to 3 or 4 in the morning.
William Andrikopoulos is with us, the former MPS superintendent. So since the last time that we spoke, Bill, I talked to an education expert in Ohio and had a lengthy discussion about mayoral takeover in the Cleveland district. Since the mayoral takeover, Finances have stabilized, test scores have gone up, graduation rates have gone up, truancy and discipline have gone down. Is it time to talk about a mayoral takeover as a potential option for MPS?
Absolutely. It's time to look at the governance structure. As I put in my op-ed, I feel the governance structure supports adults more than children. That's just the way it is. That's the reality of it. And I just think we need a change. I mean, is it going to get worse? Come on. We have to try something different. And that's why I propose a special commissioner, someone to come in for just 3 years, and to really make a difference in the district and not have to deal with the politics. Just move forward with doing what's best for children and aligning our resources to the classroom.
So you wrote in that same op-ed that MPS has shied away from competition designed to lift all boats. Explain that.
Well, there's schools called non-instrumentality charter schools. These are charter schools chartered by some agency, either UWM, the city, MATC, or MPS. And there's been 3 or 4 outstanding non-instrumentality charter schools that the board cut loose with. Those individuals now have chartered with UWM and a couple with the city. So MPS has lost students and resources because they lost that enrollment. That makes no sense. Some people, there's pressure. They're not district employees. They're not MTA members. And all of that politics get into what's good for kids and what's good for MPS. Increasing their enrollment adds more resources to the school district.
Do you have confidence in Tony Evers being qualified to lead the fix for MPS?
Absolutely. I had a good relationship with Tony for 8 years when I was a superintendent. I met with him on a regular basis. He's an extremely knowledgeable individual. He was a teacher, principal. He was a superintendent. He was the deputy. He was the head of the DPI. He's got a wealth of experience, and he also has a bit of understanding of the politics in Milwaukee and the needs of the children in Milwaukee. So I'm hoping he hears the call that he's got to do something beyond an audit. An audit is great, and that could be a resource that's used by the special commissioner. I went through an audit in 2009, and it was very helpful, but it's very lengthy, time-consuming, staff-consuming.
William Andrikopoulos served as the superintendent of MPS for 8 years, retiring in 2010. 38 years in the district. We appreciate you staying in touch. We appreciate your expertise. Thank you so much for being with us, Bill.
You guys take care. Thanks again.
So important. Thank you so much.
It's 424 at WTMJ. Coming up after the break, a couple of things. Boeing problems. Boeing's got a lot of problems. How's that going to affect air travel this summer? And 6 phrases you should avoid at work. At all costs. That's the right word, at all costs. Phrases you should avoid at work, according to an expert. We'll dive into that as well. It's news straight ahead at the bottom of the hour. First, we're going to tell you a little bit about EAA AirVenture in Oshkosh. It's the greatest thing during our Wisconsin summer. It's incredible. This year, it's July 22nd through the 28th. Aviation fans from around the world make Oshkosh their destination each summer for this can't-miss event. Come out and join us for the day, or stay a while. Take advantage of on-site camping. Explore 7 days packed with air shows, aviation history, new technology, and more. The military aircraft are out there. They've got night air shows. It really is something super special. And it's right in Oshkosh, just up the road. For information on tickets, camping, and more, go to eaa.org/tickets. Those discounted tickets, that's been extended until the end of June. So go to eaa.org/tickets. It's EAA AirVenture Oshkosh.
At Fleet Farm, we know every sunny day doesn't begin and end with us. But if it did, we've got you covered. Everyday fishing gear from Rapala, Berkeley, and Minn Kota. Everyday grilling goods from Weber, Kingsford, and Blackstone. Everyday camping gear from Coleman, Yeti, and Eureka. Whatever makes your day, we're right there with you. At Fleet Farm, we've got everything you need for everyday life.
Wisconsin Harley-Davidson is ready to get you on the road for all your summer events this riding season. June 15th features a ride from Casper, Wyoming, benefiting Wisconsin Hero Outdoors. Then on June 22nd, Wisconsin Harley-Davidson will have 2 rides from Milwaukee and Iron Ridge, benefiting veterans and the Wisconsin Guardian Foundation. All proceeds go to the Next Guardian Service Dog and Veteran Community Project. For more info, visit WISHD.com or find them on Facebook and search their events. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
I would say some of the biggest challenges to building American-made furniture is competing with low overseas wages. America has higher wages.
Ben and Arvid Huth from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
It's still a big benefit to make it in the United States because even though labor costs are higher, we all know the American worker is the most efficient, most productive worker in the world, especially employees in the Midwest. Midwest people are renowned for their work ethic. There's advantages to that outweigh extra labor cost. And there's also a lot of other advantages. Freight costs are way cheaper if it's made locally.
If you build furniture in China and you send it to the Midwest, it's 8,000 miles to get here. And in order to make that travel, you have to be well packaged, heavy cardboard, lots of foam, lots of bubble wrap. We don't do any of that.
Not very environmentally friendly.
No, not very environmentally friendly if you're concerned about that, but we just use a blanket, right? Our furniture travels from the wood shop to our warehouse and right to the customer. And everything's touched by our people. We have no third party touching any of that, so we can control that quality.
PennyMustard.com.
St. Vincent de Paul at 76th and Bradley Road is having our grand opening celebration this Father's Day weekend, June 13th through the 15th. Doors open at 9 a.m. and everything's on sale, 20% off. There'll be some great food trucks, cool giveaways, and it's a great chance for thrifters to see a whole new store's worth of inventory and bargains. 76th and Bradley in Milwaukee. Don't miss our grand opening sale, June 13th through the 15th.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Annex Wealth Management, the market update. Mixed day once again. The NASDAQ, it was a shining spot, up 59 points, another record high, 17,667. The S&P also a climber today, up 13 points. It's at 5433. The Dow struggled. It's off 65 points, 0.1%. It's now at 38,647. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. Welcome to our Everyday Health feature brought to you by the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. You use your hips every day, and that can create a lot of wear and tear. Timely treatment of simple and complex joint concerns can help maintain your hip function. Here to tell us more is Dr. Caitlin Orner, a hip specialist and orthopedic surgeon with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Dr. Orner, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
What are the types of hip conditions your team treats?
We treat a spectrum of hip conditions from common to complex. Conditions such as developmental hip dysplasia, femoral acetabular impingement and labral tears, cartilage injuries, femoral rotational abnormalities. We also treat adult sequelae from childhood hip diseases such as Perthes disease and slipped capital femoral epiphysis.
Tell us about some of the non-surgical options available.
Sure. So we offer everything from physical and occupational therapy to medication management, multiple different kinds of injections, as well as sports performance and conditioning.
What makes your program there unique?
As part of an academic health network, we have a dedicated team of therapists, physicians, and surgeons who offer a wide spectrum of different types of treatments. Patients that see any of our providers have the potential of getting an opinion from our entire team. We meet monthly. Any more complex patients that we feel would benefit from a group discussion will be presented at that.
It can be a scary process. Does your team provide second opinions if a person is unsure about their diagnosis and treatment plan?
Yes, we welcome the opportunity for second opinions for any hip or orthopedic-related conditions.
Dr. Orner, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
To find a doctor who's right for you, visit freightert.com/ortho.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story investigating suspicious injuries on a baby.
I'm Julia Fellow. Nearly $1 million to transport paper.
I'm Jessica Gatso in for Debbie Lazaga today. Taking a look at the slowdowns on the roads. Looks like the worst of it's going to be on 43 and southbound at this time. At least a 6-minute delay between Silver Spring and downtown. Also looking at 94 in both directions. You're going to see delays from downtown all the way to Highway 16 on westbound. Eastbound also looks a bit slow, not quite as bad. And 894, you'll definitely want to plan for extra time heading out of the Mitchell interchange into the Hale. That's about a 4-minute delay. I'm Jessica Gatso with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Clear and cool tonight. The low will be 61 degrees. Tomorrow, the best day of the week. Mostly sunny all day. A high of 74 at the lake, 77 inland.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, investigating child abuse in Watertown. Police say they're investigating suspicious injuries to a male infant reported on June 5th. The injuries happened while the child was at the YMCA Daycare Center in Watertown. The child was treated at Pro Health Oconomowoc Memorial Hospital. Charges are pending from the Jefferson County DA's office against one of the YMCA staff members.
Decision, Wisconsin. The First Lady making an appearance in Wisconsin today. Jill Biden visited Green Bay this afternoon, where she launched the Seniors for Biden-Harris campaign at the Brown County Central Library. During her speech, the First Lady said this election is not about age.
But what this election is about, it's about the character of the person leading our country. It's about finishing the job we started.
This was the First Lady's second appearance in Green Bay this year after a visit in February.
The president never disparaged the city of Milwaukee and was talking about specific challenges that we face in our nation's largest cities.
That's Wisconsin Congressman Brian Stile providing context to a comment made by President Trump. Commentators on X reporting that the former president called Milwaukee, quote, a horrible city. But Congressman Stile, who was in the room, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News the focus of the conversation was missed.
The broader context here is that no one is arguing that he disparaged the city as the media is trying to report in some outlets. The focus here is a conversation about how there are certain challenges that we truly do face in the city of Milwaukee and what policies need to be put in place to get ourselves in the right direction.
Former President Trump will visit Racine on a campaign stop next Tuesday.
Nearly $1 million from Wisconsin to transport paper rolls.
Governor Evers and the DOT announcing an $885,000 transportation grant for Pleasant Prairie. It will support a rail project for WestRock, a corrugated packaging company. The rail will allow WestRock to transport paper rolls to the Union Pacific Railroad mainline from their recently acquired 190-acre facility. The DOT saying the project will meet the demand for packaging solutions in the area and create 177 jobs. Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
We still don't know when this project will begin.
Keep your eyes on the roads in Kenosha. The Wisconsin State Patrol conducting special traffic patrols throughout Kenosha County. The goal is for officers to stop risky driving behavior that can lead to serious injuries or fatal crashes. The biggest thing officers are looking for, speeding and distracted driving.
Our area is in the midst of its first true heat wave of the year, and despite a brief break heading into the weekend, hot weather will return once again early next week.
The sun, heat, and humidity combination will leave southeast Wisconsin sweltering into early next week. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson tells WTMJ.
When you couple that with dew points well into the 60s, I mean, we're talking about heat index values in the mid-90s.
The Medical College of Wisconsin's Dr. Ben Weston says using common sense can save lives during extreme heat.
Never leave a child or a pet in the car. And think of folks around you. Check in on friends, family, and neighbors. See if they're doing okay.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. An off day for the Brewers as they prepare to welcome the red-hot Cincinnati Reds to American Family Field starting tomorrow. Coverage on WTMJ. It's the final day of the Packers' 3-day mandatory minicamp in Green Bay. Celtics now lead the NBA Finals 3-0 over the Mavericks. They could clinch the title tomorrow in Dallas. And Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight in Edmonton, where the Florida Panthers hold a 2-0 lead over the Oilers.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:35.
News is sponsored by Holiday Automotive, Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Hey, Wisconsin, Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac. Hey, go where summer leads you and drive inspired in the new Mazda car or crossover or Mazda certified pre-owned model that's right for you. As Wisconsin's #1 Mazda dealer, Holiday is the destination to gear up for your journey, get more Mazda for your money, and more for your trade, while experiencing all the stuff that makes fans out of drivers from all over the Badger State. Loyal fans like me who value Team Holiday's welcoming hospitality, simplified buying approach, and award-winning guest care. Connect with Holiday now to lock in the season's best offers, like rates as low as 0% on Mazda SUV favorites, like the invigorating and beautiful Mazda CX-5, the rugged and refined Mazda CX-50, or the 3-row, roomy and responsive Mazda CX-90. Or check out the comfortably low lease payments Which one will inspire you? Find out with Mazda. Treat yourself to a test drive and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and online at holidaymazda.com. Holiday Mazda. It's worth the trip.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
If you want to hear an interview with Congressman Brian Stile, who was in the room with Donald Trump when Trump allegedly called Milwaukee a horrible city, it's very easy to check it out. You can hear the entire interview, and it's pretty intense. By texting the word WAN, W-A-N, that's for Wisconsin's afternoon news. You text the word WAN to 855-616-1620. You're taken right to our podcast page. You can check it out there. Text the word WAN to 855-616-1620 to listen to that entire interview. So there are phrases that people use at work that are make your eyes roll like, oh, God, I can't believe that's such a cliche. I can't believe that they said that, right? It happens in every workplace. Cliches that have become as common in the workplaces as using just everyday language. Writing guru Adam Young, he's the CEO of a firm called Agility Writer, says that using vague jargon muddles your message to coworkers and bosses and actually makes things really, really ineffective. And bosses, if you use these phrases, may actually perceive you as unprofessional, lazy,
oh no,
even disrespectful.
Let's listen.
Okay, these are the 6 phrases he says you should avoid saying at work at all causes.
There's some secret ones that you know are disingenuous, you know, John?
Totally. I know, Julia. Don't ever use this phrase, he says. We need to think outside the box. First off, what box? He says the phrase has become so overused it no longer carries any meaning at all, and it's like an SNL wordplay. Let's think outside the box. I never say that. I never really am around anybody that does.
My poor dad's always says that.
Oh, your sweet dad says that?
Yeah.
Instead, he says use phrases like,
okay,
instead of saying think outside the box, be creative. Let's innovate. Let's explore new ideas. Instead of let's think outside the box.
Okay.
Here's another one he says should never be used. Synergy. People use it to refer to cooperation or combined efforts. He says when people use the term synergy, it does not provide any real specifics about what's being combined or how people are supposed to combine them.
Oh, those are just buzzwords. You know?
Like synergy is?
Yeah.
Synergy.
It's just throw it out there.
Right. He says instead use more specific language like collaboration, team effort, working together. He says in general we should use just more basic language like we should be working together instead of we need synergy around this project.
If you like zoned out in a conversation and you just added that word, you know, you get right back into it.
Oh, yeah. Well, the corporate mucky muck knuckleheads would look at you like, oh, yeah, let's synergize. Yeah. He says another word that should no longer be used is leverage. The word leverage was originally used to describe the strategic use of resources to maximize outcomes or to gain an advantage over something or someone. Yang says now the word leverage has become a catch-all term that lacks any specificity. Like, we need to leverage our relationship with the congressman's office to try to get him on the show.
Okay.
Says don't use the term leverage. Instead say, we need to try to capitalize on our relationship.
I need to bring this piece of paper with me in meetings.
I've never heard you use any of these phrases.
No.
Leverage is one, though, that I could hear myself using. Like, that doesn't seem that extreme. We should really leverage that. You and I talk about this all the time because when we try to get people on the show, we've built relationships as journalists in this community. And so
we have an olive branch out.
Yes.
Is that a triggering
Let's
word?
use that more than leverage. Let's use the olive branch to try to get that detective on the show. Another phrase he says we should avoid, circle back. Like, you want to talk about a task at a later time, circle back.
I don't like that.
We need to circle back on that. People say it now so often that it can sound dismissive, insincere, or unclear. Like someone's trying to avoid a topic. Well, we'll circle back on that.
We'll never
put it on the back burner.
The translation is we'll never bring that up again. Don't ask.
Here's one he says is one of his all-time least favorites. Don't use the phrase low-hanging fruit. Dealing with the easiest or most obvious options first is what it means. He says it's an awkward metaphor that can sound glib. Its overuse has also rendered it trite and lacking in impact. Well, let's knock out the low-hanging fruit, and then we'll get to the tougher tasks that'll take more time. He said, don't use low-hanging fruit. And the last phrase on his list, he says we should never use at work is the phrase, move the needle. When they're talking about making an impact or progress, he says people often use the phrase, move the needle. Why don't people like it? Because it's become another vague and overused term, often said when there's not really any kind of movement or success. We could really move the needle if we blah, blah, blah. Instead, he says you should use more specific language, such as make an impact, drive progress, influence outcomes. These all sound terrible, too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's drive progress by trying to make sure that we blah, blah, blah.
When you're in a conversation with a coworker and someone says, with all due respect, what do you think that means?
They're about to rip you one.
Totally.
They're about to say something really not nice about you.
Yes.
Right? They're about to crack on you.
Buckle up.
Julie, with all due respect.
It's on.
That's not good, right?
It's on, yes.
So right away you get defensive. Right away you're like, ooh. Okay.
No, it's going to be an oof. It's going to be bad.
Oof. Yep. But so my shoulders go up like, okay, here we go. Like I'm going to have to fight. Like it's like the fight or flight right away if someone says with all due respect. Yeah, that's really bad. Don't say that. It is 4:42 at WTMJ. Speaking of bad, Boeing has had a lot of issues. Boeing has had major problems. What is next? How could it impact what you would like to do this summer? ABC's Alex Stone is with us after traffic and weather on WTMJ.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and carbless, ready-to-drink cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love our dogs, Bella and Baxter. They become like kids in our home, and a lot like raising children. The dogs didn't always listen so great. So I started working with Matt and his teams at Sit Means Sit Dog Training, and they are awesome. We've had a great experience, even better results. Our dogs are better behaved. As a client, I know firsthand the very good work that they do at Sit Means Sit. I trust them. They've got the best trainers. They've got the best techniques. You too can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. Contact Sit Means Sit Dog Training today to schedule a free consultation. That's how we started. Free consultation. SitMeansSitWaukesha.com.
The cars have changed since 1956, but the tradition rolls on as America's National Park of Speed, Road America. It's the 69th annual WeatherTech SCCA June Sprints, June 21st to the 23rd. Everything from showroom stock to purpose-built race cars. If it's got four wheels, it's running at the June Sprints. Kids under 16 get in free with paying adults. The summer tradition returns June 21st to the 23rd at America's National Park of Speed, Road America. Details, tickets, and camping at roadamerica.com.
This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, and I want to talk about exactly what we do. When you come here, you're going to get 2 shots with 2 very small needles. One will be a medication called Toradol, which is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, completely different from a standard steroid or cortisone injection. This medication is safe and a great pain reliever. The other will be hyaluronic acid, which is a naturally occurring fluid found in all of our joints. What hyaluronic acid does is it helps recoat the inside surfaces to provide cushioning and lubrication. It helps slow down the osteoarthritis process to a point where patients may not need surgery. All of this combined with using our state-of-the-art Ultra G machine developed by NASA has produced profound results. What we do works. And the best part about this is that insurance covers most of our patients' treatments. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Diamonds Direct has done it again. This month only, get ready for an offer you can't resist. Buy a natural diamond engagement ring of 1 carat plus and receive a free natural 1 carat diamond tennis bracelet valued at $2,000. That's right, a stunning diamond tennis bracelet at no extra cost. Imagine giving her the ring of her dreams and her wedding gift all at once. So hurry into Diamonds Direct. Your chance to get a free tennis bracelet will not last long. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanders Home Entertainment, Flanders.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanders Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanders, just press play.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look outside with Jessica Gatso. How are the roads looking, Jessica?
Hey, Julia. Roads are looking pretty standard as far as delays go. Starting with 43 southbound, you're going to be pretty slow from Silver Spring all the way to downtown. 94 westbound, that's going to be slow from downtown to about the stadium interchange. And then the delays pick up back again from the Zoo interchange to Highway 16. Also looking at the Mitchell interchange, you're going to see delays heading basically all the way to the Hale interchange. Be our eyes on the roads. Report incidents to the WTMJ HallMazdaMilwaukee.com traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. Find out with Hall Mazda all summer. I'm Jessica Gatso with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear skies, but it is going to rain first. Eventually it clears out with a low of 61. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 77. Saturday, chance for rain, mainly north and west of the city on Saturday, a high of 73. On Sunday, a chance for early showers, a high of 86. On Monday, sunny, hot, and humid, a high of 90 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 84 degrees. Isaac, that is very techno-y music. Do you listen to this in your personal life?
On occasion.
No comment.
I don't know if I'm into it. Let's ask Alex.
I'm trying to figure it out. Alex, that could be your new walk-on music. Do you like that?
There's not even much of a beat to this thing. It's not even like, and it's like,
right?
Yeah, we're with Alex. That's weird. Don't play that again. You know we love you, but don't play that again. Alex, FAA chief says the agency was too hands-off on Boeing before that door plug flew off that we had you on to talk about a couple of different times. What happened here? What's the FAA chief saying?
Yeah, so today, Michael Whitaker, the administrator of the FAA, he was in front of a Senate committee, and he openly admitted today that the FAA was not doing enough before the door plug came off of the Alaska Airlines 737 MAX. And even after the two MAXs went down, the Ethiopian Airlines and the Lion Air, that crashed, killing everybody on board. And then the FAA said, well, that Boeing can't be policing itself, that there's got to be more FAA oversight. Even after all of that, apparently there was not enough going on. And today he told committee members this.
The FAA should have had much better visibility into what was happening at Boeing before January 5th. FAA's approach was too hands-off, too focused on paperwork audits, and not focused enough on inspections.
And again, even after the two MAXs crashed and they were going to increase scrutiny on Boeing, that apparently they were just doing a lot of paperwork looking and looking at design plans and whatnot, but not actually in the factories and seeing what Boeing was doing. So he says all of that has changed. We're now inspecting Boeing means actually getting into the Boeing plant, getting into the factory that makes the fuselage at Spirit Aerosystems, and they want to go eyes on and see everything being done. They have limited and will continue limiting the number of MAX aircraft that Boeing can output. That is bad news for the airlines, that they have been limited in what they can do with not getting as many planes as they thought they were going to get. But he says that they want to make sure that Boeing is building safe airplanes, that things are changing in the long run, and it's going to stay that way, and they're not there yet.
We have now moved to a more active, comprehensive oversight model, the audit plus inspection approach, which allows the FAA to have much better insight into Boeing's operations.
And the other thing, guys, it's the NTSB, you remember, had indicated weeks ago that there is no evidence in the way of video or documentation that there should have been when they took that door plug off in the factory to do work on some rivets near the door. And in the Boeing factory, that according to the NTSB and the FAA, they should have documented what they did there. And remember, the NTSB says when they put the door back on, that the workers never put the bolts back on that door,
right.
And it was delivered without any securing mechanism on that door, and flew around until the door essentially just fell off. And so he said today, yeah, there is no video, there is no documentation. Nobody realized that they had not installed the bolts, it appears, but it should have been documented. And he says for the foreseeable future, Boeing's going to be under the increased scrutiny, that they've learned a lot of lessons. He said today they've got multiple active investigations into Boeing involving whistleblower claims that they want to get to the bottom of. So there is still a lot going on. It is not over yet. Boeing gave them their plan of how they're going to fix things, and now the FAA says they really want to see it.
You would have thought there would have been an alarm or a notification in the cockpit if that opened. You know, Alex?
Well, yeah, if the door came off, they knew immediately when the door came off. It was closed. It just was not apparently bolted into place. And so it was there just kind of based on, the door being stuck into the fuselage with some things here and there that would need to be ripped away, like the wall that was there, that it was closed, and they would have known if it was opened up like a normal door was. But when it came off, they immediately knew the cockpit door flew open because of the pressurization, and all the masks came down and all the screaming on board and everything else. They knew immediately. But not having the bolts on there, it'd be like if your car door was shut, but you didn't know that the car maker hadn't put bolts on it to where it wasn't just going to fall off.
Alex, you've reported extensively on the airline industry, and as we head into summer, are there enough planes during what's going to be a record travel season? What's the state of air travel going to be like this summer?
Well, the airlines say that they're good now that they've adjusted their schedules. They got rid of a lot of flights, not just this summer, but into the fall as well, that they say that now they're going to be good. But they did have to axe quite a few, and they're not expanding in the ways that they wanted to expand because they're not getting the planes that they thought they were going to get. And in the case of United and of Southwest, where they thought they were going to get a lot of 737 MAXs, now this year they're going to get a fraction of what they thought they were going to get. So they've really had to figure things out, moving aircraft around, cutting back on their flight schedules. It's had a major impact.
Is that an advantage for airlines like American and Delta who weren't relying on those airplanes?
Maybe, although they've had issues as well just getting the aircraft that they thought they needed, even though that it wasn't necessarily the MAX aircraft, but that they have, and American flies, they've got the 787, but there are some other airlines that do fly it. Actually, I think they do. The MAX is at American as well, but there are other production problems that they have thought they were going to get more aircraft as well. Then there are the issues with pilot hiring. So the airlines are dealing with a lot right now, but generally speaking, they're not, even if they don't fly the MAX, they're not getting the aircraft numbers that they thought they were going to get overall. And they say that their Delta's had to cut back as well.
So Julie and I often talk about if we could take a vacation with any ABC correspondent, who would it be? And we all kind of agree that Portnoy would be dicey. That might be kind of scary. I don't know what he'd like to do.
Why would it be scary?
Because he's very serious. He's very talks about politics. Nathanson would be just kind of off the rails. We don't know if we could get a word in if we traveled with him. So we've all landed on that Alex Stone would be the best guy to travel with.
So nice. I would not really be that fun though. You'd be very disappointed.
No, we want just easy. We want easy, calm.
Oh, I would be easy.
Chill.
I'd just be on the beach drinking a beer and just saying, hey, what's going on?
Do you have travel plans this summer?
We're doing some camping stuff and going to see some family, but that's about it.
Okay, yeah, I'm out if it's camping.
You're not going to come join me in Sequoia National Park?
Yeah,
just come hang out.
Well, depends what kind of camping.
You'll go to Haramblo or Royal Oaks?
Royal Oaks on vacation. Alex, what would that be
Royal
like?
Oaks. He's our legal analyst.
Yes. That sounds like a campground, Royal Oaks.
There you go.
ABC's Alex Stone. Alex, thank you.
You got it later, guys.
Hey, how about this story? Speaking of airlines, a British Airways flight they're calling to Flight to Nowhere. So a big British Airways plane, a 787, takes off from London. It flies all the way overseas. It's going to the United States. I think it's trying to get to, where is it trying to get to? Denver, maybe?
Houston,
thank you. Trying to get to Houston. It arrives just off the coast. A light goes on that says they have a minor technical issue. So instead of landing somewhere on the east coast of the United States, or Montreal or somewhere in Canada to get it fixed, they decided to turn the flight around and fly all the way back to London. They said it was safe because they have a base airport there where they're more likely to be able to take care of the maintenance issue. So these folks who thought they were coming to Houston got all the way to American airspace and had to turn around and fly all the way back to London, get off the plane, stay overnight in a hotel, lose a day of their vacation or a day back at work. And the Dreamliner had a minor issue.
What?
But they're calling it the Flight to Nowhere because it flew all the way here and all the way back to get it fixed.
Is it just the safety standards, or was it like the tools they needed?
Yeah, it wasn't safety. They said that they thought they had a better chance of being able to fix it quickly if they flew 5 hours back to London. Man, would I be ticked.
Well, with all the way that this news has spread, they probably wish they would have done it that way.
Yeah. Not great publicity. It is 4:56 at WTMJ. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Ascension Health determines how a cyber attacker gains access to Ascension systems and puts protected information at risk, an employee accidentally downloads a malicious file, but Ascension calls it an honest mistake. With Ellen Gilligan retiring as CEO of the influential Greater Milwaukee Foundation, the organization names Greg Wesley as her successor. He's a Medical College of Wisconsin executive. Silgan Containers continues expanding its footprint in southeast Wisconsin. The latest example, arranging to buy a facility at Crossroads Office Park near Waukesha from Kalmbach Media. I'm Rich Kirchin with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Business headlines sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at the Pfister. Enjoy fine dining at its acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Well Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scavini for Universal Windows Direct. Super spacer technology. What does that mean? It helps keep the edge of the glass warmer, holds the window seal longer, makes the windows last up to 5 times longer than other window systems. So your windows from Universal Windows Direct perform better and last longer. Plus, Universal Windows Direct backs it up with a true lifetime warranty as long as you own the home. Updating your windows with Universal Windows Direct means extra protection from the elements, a consistent temperature in your home, increased energy efficiency, and reduced heating and cooling costs. For every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months. That is 5 years. Restrictions apply. Tell them I told you to call. Get an additional $250 off your project. Go to UWD.com. Like me, you'll be saying,
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
AccuNet Mortgage. We'll talk about them coming up in just a couple of minutes here. First, a couple of words for Otto's Wine and Spirits in Milwaukee since 1945. It's where I go. Usually about this time of week, I start to think about what's going on for the weekend and maybe some wine and some cocktails. It's Otto's. 7 locations right here throughout the Milwaukee area. Milwaukee, Menominee Falls, that's my store. Elm Grove, Brown Deer, Cedarburg. Friendly staff, knowledgeable staff, best prices, best selection. They've always, it seems like, got a deal on something. I'm a Tito's guy and a Crown Royal guy. I swear, every time I'm in there, one or the other's on sale. Great beer cooler. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits. Check out Otto's.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Home Buying Strategist Brian Wickert. A lot of home shoppers, like Jordan and Michelle, just go with their bank when it comes to getting a pre-approval. It wasn't until after they wrote their 5th losing offer that they took their agent's advice and called Southeast Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage for a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and offer strategy consultation. The result? Accepted offer on the very next try. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at accunet.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. Most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting a pre-approval. But the little secret is that listing agents who are advising sellers on which offer to accept don't really like seeing pre-approvals from banks. They prefer fully verified pre-approvals from trusted local lenders like AccuNet Mortgage. Our closing costs are also typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks for exactly the same rate. Save money and get a pre-approval listing agents love by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Ready to tackle that honey-do list? WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets. Spring cleaning time. My friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets want to help you calm the chaos. Inspired Closets will transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. They come out for a free visit and use their 3D software to tailor a space specific to you. Right now, get 10% off or 18 months free financing. Contact them today for more details. Tell them Vinny sent you. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlands.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Richlands.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
The countdown to the Republican National Convention is on. Keep it tuned here for interviews, headlines, and everything you need to know for the RNC. It's Decision Wisconsin, only here on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5:01. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, the head of MPS's finances is out.
I'm Julia Fellow. What did the former president really say in the room about the city of Milwaukee?
I'm Jessica Gatso in for Debbie Lazaga today. Looks like we've got a disabled vehicle to watch out for on 43 northbound heading out of downtown. It's blocking the center lane that's on the ramp from Kilbourne and Highland Avenue. Again, disabled vehicle in the center lane on 43 northbound. And definitely seeing delays in both directions on 43, at least a 5-minute delay between downtown and about Silver Spring. Also looking at 94 delays in both directions, at least 5 minutes from downtown to the zoo, and at least several minutes heading from the zoo to downtown. And then taking a look at the Mitchell interchange, we've got delays heading all the way about to the Hale interchange on going westbound. If you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. Find out with Hall Mazda all summer. I'm Jessica Gatso with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, slight chance for showers, a low of 61. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 78 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Chief Financial Officer of the Milwaukee Public Schools, Martha Kreitzman, is retired from the district effective immediately.
First, they plan to approve the corrective action plan submitted to the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction on Tuesday. They will also identify an MPS designee to handle any revisions. Progress with the corrective action plan is critical to the release of DPI funds. Next, the board will vote on the budget, which must be approved by July 1st. It can still be revised until October 1st. Finally, the board plans to meet in closed session to begin selecting an interim superintendent. Tonight's board meeting is open to the public. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Being in the room where it happened, social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, exploded this afternoon after a report of a comment from former President Donald Trump, where he called the city of Milwaukee, quote, a horrible city. Wisconsin Congressman Brian Stile was in the room when that comment was made, and he shared his experience with Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
I think President Trump uses direct language, and I think in many ways that's really effective to get a message across. There's a private conversation with a group of people. Again, I don't believe that he said it, but everybody was in the room. Everybody's open to their own recollection. But what everybody agrees with is that there was no disparaging comment about the city of Milwaukee.
Stile says there's context when it comes to this conversation. It revolved around serious issues facing cities like Milwaukee, including crime, election interferences, and the financial issues that MPS is facing.
President Biden addressing several issues during a brief news conference at the G7 summit in Italy, including about his son, Hunter.
The president spoke about a security deal with Ukraine, using proceeds from frozen Russian assets for Ukraine, waiting for Hamas's approval of a ceasefire agreement in Gaza, and then whether he would pardon Hunter Biden, who was just convicted in his federal gun trial.
I said I'd abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
Hunter Biden faces prison time of up to 25 years on 3 felony counts. A sentencing date has not yet been set. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up, can too many people dancing their hearts out at a concert cause an earthquake?
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:05. Hey, it's Father's Day weekend. Show your father and grandfather your love with a free dinner at the award-winning Fox and Hound Supper Club. WTMJ's John Mercure here. It's my favorite place to hang out. And when you buy one dinner, you get a second dinner free tonight and this Father's Day weekend. Dad can order his favorite steak, ribs, pasta, the pan-fried walleye, anything on the menu. Your second dinner's free. Desserts for Dad are also buy one, get one free. And how about the Father's Day brunch? It's everything your dad loves for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and all you can eat. Kids and grandkids 3 and under, they eat for free. The Fox and Hounds and the Kettle Moraine Forest, a one-of-a-kind Father's Day destination. Your dad will love being right there in the woods. I highly recommend the Father's Day Friday Fish Fry. It's all you can eat and one of the best. the Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. The summer drive is spectacular. The patio in the woods is gorgeous. Your dad will love the Father's Day all-you-can-eat brunch or the free dinner this week. Call and reserve today. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Labor shortages, retention problems. It's been a challenging time for my business. But in Wisconsin, there's 600,000 people with disabilities who are ready to work right now. They just need you to believe in them and say yes. I did.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support for people with disabilities and their employers to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Since 1955, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Hey, don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. They'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:07.
Swifties are shaking it off a little too hard in the UK.
Seismologists say thousands of Taylor Swift fans made the earth shake while dancing and cheering at 3 of her concerts last weekend in Edinburgh. Friday night's show was the strongest, causing the equivalent of a 2.3 magnitude quake. Similar activity happened at the Eras Tour stops last year in Seattle and LA. But Taylor's still trekking through the UK for the next few months and could shake things up even more when she wraps with a record-breaking 8-night run there at London's Wembley Stadium. After that, she'll head to Canada and back to the U.S. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. An off day for the Brewers as they prep to welcome the Cincinnati Reds to American Family Field starting tomorrow. And it's the final day of the Packers' 3-day mandatory minicamp in Green Bay.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:08.
John Mercure here for Griffin Ford in Waukesha. I've got a Ford Explorer that I got at Griffin Ford. I absolutely love this Explorer. It's white. I got it with the trim package that I wanted. It's got everything we need on it. One of the things I love about shopping at Griffin Ford in Waukesha is they've got a great selection of everything you're looking for. The best-selling truck in America for 47 straight years is the Ford F-Series. Griffin has 50 F-Series in stock right now, including the super popular F-150. 340 new certified and used vehicles in stock right now. It's an incredible selection. It's your place to test drive the 2024 Ford Maverick, now in inventory, ready to be taken home. Check out the affordable and popular Ford Escape and the Bronco Sport. And they've got the best service department. The summertime service special right now at Griffin. Inspect and rotate your tires. Check your battery. A complete multi-point inspection. Check your heat. Change your wiper blades, your air filter for $179.95. I was just talking to Jim Griffin last week. He says inventories are back. They're fully staffed up. They're ready to take care of you. It's where I buy my vehicles. It's Griffin Ford, Waukesha.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Got to tell you quickly this crazy story because I just think it's hard to believe almost literally. This is from Oregon. It's about a man whose daughters had a slumber party. So his daughter is 12 years old, and she has 3 12-year-old girls over for a slumber party, okay? So they're over for the slumber party, and as part of the deal, they're going to stay the night, and then the family where they're staying has plans for the next day. So the dad wants the kids to go to sleep, right? And when you have girls over for a slumber party, and I had a lot of these with my twin girls, kids don't go to sleep, right? They stay up watching TV. They want to drink soda. They're playing games. They're chatting the night away. So he wanted them to go to sleep. So here's what the guy did. He drugged them while they were going to sleep. So before they went to sleep, he agreed to let them have smoothies. He said, you know what, I'm going to give you some smoothies, then you can go to sleep. So he made them all smoothies. They were all served 2 smoothies in milkshake-style glasses. He gave each girl specific colored, reusable straws to distinguish their own drink. He was adamant the girls drink out of their own cups, so they're settled down. They're watching TV. He gives them the drinks. One girl drank 2 cups. Another girl drank 1 cup. A third said she didn't like the smoothies and barely drank any at all. It was unclear how many the guy's daughter drank. A girl who told police she drank 2 smoothies said this: I began to feel woozy. I was hot. I was clumsy. I felt like I couldn't talk. I blacked out and slipped into a thick, deep sleep like I'd never experienced before. 2 girls slept on a pull-out couch in the basement. 2 others slept in a bedroom in the basement. He came downstairs on multiple occasions to make sure the girls were asleep. One girl was not moving much at all and appeared to be passed out, not asleep. He actually took his finger and put it underneath her nose to make sure she was still breathing. This is according to one girl who was kind of watching from a side. So the one girl realizes, my friends are not feeling good. There's something weird going on here, and I feel really bad. She said she texted and called her parents.
Wow.
Mom, please pick me up. Say I had a family emergency. I don't feel safe here. Something's not right. Please come get me now. Her parents didn't respond. They were already asleep, police believe. She reached out to a family friend, said, you need to come get me. Something's very wrong here. So they come and they pick her up. Eventually, the friend says, you're not right. And they take her to the hospital. And so they run some tests, and they think she's under the influence of something. And it's benzodiazepine, which is the common ingredient in Valium and Xanax.
That's very serious.
And so she's sick. The other girls have to go to the hospital.
Do you know how extremely serious that is to maybe give a child a bar of Xanax?
And he's not a pharmacist, so he doesn't know how much their little bodies can handle. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh, that's horrible. That could have turned, and I wonder if his daughter had been drugged many times before.
So his daughter, so he got charged with multiple felonies. He got charged with a felony for the drugging of each kid that wasn't his own. He did not get charged with the drugging of his own daughter.
What?
Doesn't say why. But so he's in serious trouble.
They need to do a hair sample on that child so they can get a timeline of what she was possibly drugged with. How old were these girls?
12.
Oh.
And he got 2 years in prison. What a terrible story.
That's awful.
Isn't that? It's 5:13 at WTMJ. So we've been talking all day about Donald Trump and whether he said Milwaukee is a horrible city, where there are numerous reports that he did, or whether he didn't say that. What's the perspective? Charles Benson, chief investigative reporter at TMJ4, is with us up next. We'll discuss that and a couple of other things on WTMJ.
Dr. Ken's mind is fine as aged wine, let me tell you.
Hey! This is The Truth on WTMJ.
So why is it that when you don't give people what they want, you're the problem, when in fact they're so self-serving that they'll get it? And then
with Dr. Ken Harris and Denise Thomas.
I'm saying that I'm telling you that for me, if I respect you, it has way more weight than me liking you.
Absolutely.
Sunday night starting at 7.
Intelligent, intellectual.
That sounds like I'm
good
in trouble
looking,
today.
handsome.
Right here on WTMJ.
SideX, upgrade and transform your current bathroom space. Tub and shower conversions are the real deal. SideX will take care of you. They came to my house, took out a conventional bathtub in the main guest bathroom, put in a walk-in shower. It transformed the bathroom. The bathroom's lighter. It's airier. The shower is much safer. It's just a better space. It's SideX. SidexRemodel.com is the website. SIDEX like excellence. SidexRemodel.com. Joe's running the company out there. He'll come out. His teams will take good care of you. Check it out. It's SideX.
St. Vincent de Paul at 76th and Bradley Road is having our grand opening celebration this Father's Day weekend, June 13th through the 15th. Doors open at 9 a.m. and everything's on sale, 20% off. There'll be some great food trucks, cool giveaways, and it's a great chance for thrifters to see a whole new store's worth of inventory and bargains. 76th and Bradley in Milwaukee. Don't miss our grand opening sale, June 13th through the 15th.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Many people with unique homes reach out to Pella because our team of experts can customize windows and doors that match architecture from any era.
I love that I have a home that's 100 years old. It's a historic district, and we didn't want to ruin the look by having modern windows in an older home. When I found out that Pella had an architecturally accurate product line, they simply guided us and helped us to make a great decision for our home.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 48 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Certain restrictions apply in 6/30/2024.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment, Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
Traffic and weather begins with Jessica, who's in for Debbie. Hey, Jessica.
Hey there, John. We've got quite a few disabled vehicles popping up, but the main one you want to look out for, that's on 43 North heading out of downtown. It's actually blocking 2 lanes now. That's at the ramp from Kilbourne and Highland Avenue. Again, you want to watch out for that vehicle on 43 North at the ramp from Kilbourne and Highland, blocking the 2 right lanes. You're going to see slowdowns on both 43 northbound and southbound, about a 5-minute delay between downtown and Silver Spring. Also looking at delays in both directions on 94. Looks like heading eastbound, we've got a crash actually on the right shoulder. That's at 68th and 70th Street. So you'll definitely still seeing delays there. And also looking at the Mitchell Interchange, slowdowns heading all the way to the Hale. I'm Jessica Gatso with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight, it's going to rain a little bit, then it's going to clear out, a low of 61 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a great day, a high of 77 degrees. On Saturday, chance for afternoon showers, a high of 73. Sunday, a chance for early showers, a high of 86. And on Monday, sunny, hot, and humid, a high of 90 degrees. So earlier today, there were reports that Donald Trump, in addressing the congressional Republicans, referred to Milwaukee as a horrible city. A quote on X went out that said that he said, Milwaukee, where we're having our convention, is a horrible city. We had Brian Stile on earlier, who was in the room. He said several things, including, I can't remember exactly what Donald Trump said. And then he said, you know what, even if he said it, the context was he was talking about crime, so on and so forth. And we're hearing now from Donald Trump about what he claims that he actually said.
He just spoke on Fox News to a reporter, and he said, I did not say it's a horrible city, and I love Milwaukee. He just said that to a Fox News reporter on cable.
Charles Benson, TMJ4 News, their chief political reporter, has been tracking this story all day. And Charles, I know you've talked to some people connected to the Trump campaign as well. What are you hearing about this story?
Well, it's been just a big challenge to try to get some clarity, to get some consistency, and to try to get some context on this story, because it certainly set off a political storm. There was a lot of pushback, Democrats immediately jumping on this comment. And when I first saw the comment, I was like, what else, where did that come from? Was it out of the blue? Was it in the form of a question? Where was the context in that first post on X? And that's where I started to go with this story. And so we heard a variety of things, that he wasn't making a blanket statement about Milwaukee. That's according to his press secretary, who I called and had a chance to talk to, about an hour after this story was really breaking. And this is Carolyn Leavitt, who gave me the context. This is what her take was on it, that he was asked about Milwaukee from the context of the crime and what he sees as election integrity or election ballot issues. And he was referring to those issues as being horrible with what's going on. But it's interesting. You had a chance to talk to Representative Stile. I've read the quotes from the Wisconsin congressional delegation, and everybody seems to have heard something different, although they do seem to be now sort of coming around on the issue concerning election integrity and the city's crime. So it's really going to be hard. It has been for me to chase down what exactly did he say and what exactly was the context of those words.
Do you think that's going to overshadow when he comes to visit next week to Racine?
It will overshadow what will be the media story around this event, and so people will be reminded once again. But in covering the former president, controversy always follows him on either something he might have said or something he did. So there's nothing unusual or new here. All the indications we were getting were, because I even asked him about this. When I had a chance to talk to the former president a couple of weeks ago, he was looking forward to coming to Milwaukee and the opportunity that it presented for not only the city and the state, that is important for him and for President Biden to win. So, again, it will be something that people will bring up, I'm sure. But it is interesting to me that he is going to Racine. And Racine County is this area where President Biden was just last month talking about a very big project for Microsoft, and one that President Biden used against the former president in terms of what happened with Foxconn. So I think there's going to be the potential there for a lot of news on what kind of conversation the former president is going to have about why is he in Racine and Racine County. By the way, he carries Racine County by about 4,000 votes in 2020. So it's an important county for him and Biden.
Charles, I asked Representative Steele this question. Even if they're saying now he was talking about MPS or election integrity or crime, I asked the congressman, could you see a scenario where Ronald Reagan or George W. Bush in your party would have made these similar comments if they were talking about crime or election integrity and disparage a city like this? And Style, of course, changed the subject. My question to you, can you remember a major party candidate talking or saying something negatively about a major Wisconsin city?
So it was interesting when I first encountered Donald Trump as candidate Trump. He was saying things at that time where he was indicating he was not a very big fan of Paul Ryan, who was not the speaker at the time, that he was not a fan of Scott Walker and what was happening in Wisconsin around things that happened with Act 10. So, Donald Trump, in my coverage of him, has never fallen in line with what other traditional or well-known Republicans would say, or what traditional or well-known Democrats would say. So this is, in some ways, the appeal to some voters, and it is also the worry with voters who support Trump or support his policies, because he is prone to saying things that just anger people who want to support him.
And Charles, are we learning more about protest zones? Are things changing with the RNC coming up?
It does seem to be in movement here in terms of, you're talking about what is the designated protest or First Amendment zone. It's planned to be at the Père Marquette, which is very near the Republican National Convention. And we're seeing stories today and in talking to people, there seems to be this effort to try to move it somewhere else. What that looks like, when that will happen, the only sense I got today is that it's in play. There's conversations going on, and we're waiting to see what finally might be decided on if there will be a designated protest zone and how there will be one. The question is, how close will it be to the convention?
TMJ4's Charles Benson, always good perspective. Charles, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
524 at WTMJ. We've got some business news coming your way in just a second. First, let me tell you about Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. They're the best. How do I know? Because I've got Guthrie and Fry in my house. I've got a Guthrie and Fry water softener. I have a Guthrie and Fry reverse osmosis system. It's on the faucet, so I know the water coming into my house is crisp, clean, clear. We cook more now at home than ever before. We're making pasta tonight. I'm going to use that water. And thanks to Guthrie and Fry, I know that it is safe. Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning, quality products and services at a fair price from a local company that you can trust. Rob and Sue, the owners, are involved in the community, and when their teams are in your house, it's like having family in your house. It's Guthrie and Fry. Fixed rental rates, they bring the salt into the basement. They just do it all. Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry, Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice. It's Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
All of your favorite artists, all in one place.
Push the off of the porch or break up down. Get this if it happen to blow, it makes a round sound.
Join Wisconsin's Midday News at the world's largest music festival, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Mobile Studio at Summerfest 2024.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Dr. Ryan Stefanchek. Board certified in sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation, Dr. Stefanchek specializes in non-operative treatment of the spine, chronic pain, all joints, all musculoskeletal problems, and more, emphasizing holistic care first, with a focus on diet, sleep, stress management, and social connections for a patient's well-being. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
When you and your spouse go to a movie, you go at the same time, right? When it comes to Social Security, it might make sense for you to claim benefits at different times. It's critical that you correctly time your benefits. If you get it right, you could add thousands of extra dollars to your retirement income. Do you know the timing that's best for your situation? Our team at Drake & Associates will analyze your Social Security options as part of your retirement-ready roadmap. You have one chance to claim your Social Security benefits, and that decision will impact you for the rest of your life. Claim your free Retirement Ready Toolkit that has guides on Social Security. Call or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting SS to 414-409-9982.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
God's mission is like water. Without changing what it is, the good news of God's kingdom coming in Jesus takes the shape of its cultural container. God is saying, my promise will not change, but its shape, its vessel, its container will, because it's for everyone.
Hear Dr. Michael Ziegler this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update on this Thursday. The NASDAQ was up 59 points. It sets at 17,668. The S&P was up another 13 points. It's at 5433. The Dow struggled a little bit. It was off 65 points. It's at 38,647. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents, sponsored by the original knowledge broker, R&R Insurance. Back with us again today, Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, we've talked about cybercrime before. In fact, you were the first person I thought of when we learned of this major healthcare system with many of our own doctors, clinics, and hospitals attacked.
Thank you, Vince. It's great to be here again. Yes, that massive attack is wreaking havoc both on the employees and the patients. Their systems have been down for several weeks. It sounds like chaos. The FBI director has called cybercrime and cyber attacks the defining threat of our generation. Data breach, ransomware, network vulnerabilities, funds transfer fraud, everything and anything that's connected is a target. It boils down to working with an experienced cybercrime specialist. Protect yourself or your business. If your agent doesn't understand the tactics of a cyber threat actor, he or she is going to be of little value after an event.
So let's get into it a little bit. What are some of the expenses that would be covered by a typical cyber insurance policy?
Cyber insurance policies, Vince, vary greatly policy to policy. It's essential you choose coverage that aligns with your business's specific need and risk profile. But here's just a few examples. It can provide financial protection to help restore systems, recover lost data, even hardware replacement.
And why should a business then work with R&R Insurance?
Vince, at R&R Insurance, our dedicated cybercrime insurance team has been in place for almost 10 years. We have some of the best cybercrime experts in the marketplace. We understand the risks and can custom design a cybercrime program that'll protect you and your business. And in the event a loss does occur, we'll be there to support you every step along the way.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Traffic and weather this afternoon, sponsored by Two Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: a choir teacher charged with sexual assault.
I'm Julia Fellow, creating housing for the homeless.
I'm Jessica Gatso, taking a look at the roads. Looks like we've got quite a few slowdowns and incidents to look out for right now. There's still a disabled vehicle blocking the two right lanes on 43 northbound at the ramp from Kilbourne and Highland. Definitely looking very slow heading out of downtown up through Silver Spring on 43 northbound. We've also got a lane closure on Highway 190 east at North 102nd Street. Looks like the right lane is blocked due to a crash there. And still seeing lots of slowdowns on 94 in both directions, and as well as the Mitchell into the Hale interchange, especially heading westbound. Be our eyes on the roads. Report incidents to the WTMJ Hall Mazda Milwaukee.com traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. Find out with Hall Mazda all summer. I'm Jessica Gatso with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
A slight chance of showers early tonight, decreasing clouds, a low of 61. Tomorrow, pick day, sunny and comfortable. 73 at the lake, 78 inland.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a high school choir teacher is charged with sexually assaulting a student. John Ashes was a teacher at Pius 11 High School in Milwaukee in 2023 when he reportedly kissed, then sexually assaulted a 16-year-old female student. He also allegedly exposed himself to the student. Prior to the assault, he had inappropriate text messages with the student, according to police, including having the student send nude photographs to him. He was fired after an investigation. Anxious is being charged with 2 felonies, sexual assault of a student by school staff and for exposing himself. He'll make his first court appearance on June 28th.
The First Lady making an appearance in Wisconsin today. Jill Biden visited Green Bay this afternoon, where she launched the Seniors for Biden-Harris campaign at the Brown County Central Library. During her speech, the First Lady said this election is not about age.
But what this election is about, it's about the character of the person leading our country. It's about finishing the job we started.
This was the First Lady's second appearance in Green Bay, but this year after a visit in February.
The president never disparaged the city of Milwaukee and was talking about specific challenges that we face in our nation's largest cities.
That's Wisconsin Congressman Brian Stile providing context to a comment made by President Trump. Commentators on X, formerly known as Twitter, reported the former president called Milwaukee a, quote, horrible city. But Congressman Stile, who is in the room, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News the focus of the conversation was missed.
The broader context here is that no one is arguing that he disparaged the city as the media is trying to report in some outlets. The focus here is a conversation about how there are certain challenges that we truly do face in the city of Milwaukee and what policies need to be put in place to get ourselves in the right direction.
Minutes ago, Trump denied that he made those comments. He will visit Racine on a campaign stop next Tuesday.
A new initiative to house the homeless on Milwaukee's South Side.
It's called Hillview Hall Rehabilitation Project. Department of Health and Human Services Administrator James Matthey says there's one thing any homeless person wants.
They want permanent housing. They want to be in their own apartments as quickly as possible. So that is the goal of everything we do here.
Matthey says Hillview will be able to take in individuals in extenuating circumstances.
Coming out of hospitals that might have ailments that they just cannot possibly be in a homeless shelter, we'll be able to take more medically fragile homeless individuals.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Summerfest is 1 week away from returning to Milwaukee's lakefront, and some are wondering if the annual music festival should extend its footprint beyond Henry Meyer Festival Park.
That question was posed to Pabst Theater Group Executive Director Gary Witt on WTMJ's The Upswing Wednesday. Witt says Summerfest should close earlier and offer late-night shows at locations in downtown Milwaukee.
It should be at restaurants and bars and coffee shops where artists can appear, and it becomes a real experience for people who travel to the city of Milwaukee.
But Milwaukee World Festival President and CEO Sarah Pancari tells Wisconsin's Midday News their focus in the near term is likely to remain at the fest grounds.
We've seen an 80% increase in total events down here at the festival park.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The heat is back on in southeast Wisconsin with temperatures in the 80s throughout the region. The Medical College of Wisconsin's Dr. Ben Weston tells Wisconsin's Midday News, as temperatures rise, the risk of heat stroke could be taken seriously for those in the elements for long periods, including the very young and very old.
Now, that word stroke gives you a bit of a hint of what it means. It's not only having a high temperature, but also having neurologic symptoms, so confusion or altered mental status as well.
Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast is coming up in a matter of minutes with Brian Niznansky.
Big-time soccer could be coming to Green Bay. The home of the Packers made it onto a list of cities across North America where FIFA teams could train and call a home away from home during the 2026 World Cup. The team would train at Lambeau Field and stay at the Lodge Kohler Hotel. The World Cup final will be held at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. If that were to happen, Green Bay would host a FIFA team the year after holding the 2025 NFL Draft.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. An off day for the Brewers as they prepare to welcome the Reds to American Family Field tomorrow. The final day for the Packers' 3-day mandatory minicamp in Green Bay. Celtics now lead the NBA Finals 3-0 over the Mavericks. They could clinch the title tomorrow. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final is tonight in Edmonton, where the Florida Panthers hold a 2-0 lead over the Oilers.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:36. News is sponsored by Holiday Automotive, Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Hey, Wisconsin, Greg Matzik for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, where the summer road trip sale is on. Perfect timing to gear up for the adventures ahead. Get more for your trade and say yes to enticing offers on favorites from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, or perhaps a GM-certified pre-owned model. Connect with Holiday to explore what's new, treat yourself to a test drive, and experience their genuine guest care and transparent, simplified buying approach. It's the stuff that delights drivers from all over the Badger State who have put their trust in Holiday and what's made them Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer per 2023 Buick and GMC zone sales records. As a repeat customer and a longtime fan myself, I can say with confidence you'll be in great hands with Team Holiday on your side. Find yours and discover the difference during the summer road trip sale at Holiday, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and online at holidaygm.com. Since 1959, it's worth the trip.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Hey, it's 5:37. Let's bring in our friend, Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. Hello, Niz.
John, Julia, what's going on?
Hey, did you hear about this? Are you a Starbucks guy?
I go to Starbucks when in a pinch and there's no, I guess, better option. And I don't mean that Starbucks is bad. I just try to.
Or when Julie wants it.
Or even my kids.
Yes.
My kids, my daughters, they found the non-caffeinated drinks,
Yes.
the certain like strawberry frap or whatever,
Dragon
and they
fruit.
wanted to.
All right. I ask you because Starbucks is getting into the value menu game. Check this out. This might make things more attractive for you. They have two options. For $5, a customer can order a tall iced or hot coffee and get it with a croissant. So that's for $5. The second choice is for $6. You get that same tall iced or tall hot coffee and a breakfast sandwich. Julia was pretty excited. That's a pretty good deal.
I've been going almost every day.
Their sandwiches have gotten better. There was a time where Starbucks, where you could tell like they just throw that whole thing in like a microwave and like the inside of it would be frozen when you would get it still. They've improved. I mean, but again, it's still so expensive, right? I know that's a value menu and I know it's probably better priced than before, but like you're talking about just a coffee and, and a breakfast sandwich for $6. It's crazy.
Do you guys ever have something for breakfast or lunch and then you feel guilty? Like, here's why I asked that question. I was out at a client meeting today, and it ended at lunch hour. I was going to get back with no time to eat, and right where the client meeting ended, there was a McDonald's. And so I rolled through the McDonald's.
It's so convenient. I know.
do that like twice a year.
It's terrible.
And it was good, and I liked it, but now I feel guilty.
I do that with Burger King and Whoppers.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got to cave into a Whopper.
Oh, my gosh. The Junior Whopper? Me too, Brian.
So good. The lettuce, tomato, everything goes together. It's like a commercial right now. Anyhow, John, to make you feel even worse,
yes.
So my daughter's on the way to dropping them off to camp, talked me into delivering their lunch today. So we bypassed their bag lunch for Happy Meals.
Oh,
so I went.
What a dad!
So I literally was in the drive-through line and got 2 Happy Meals, and temptation was setting in. Like, I want some of my own McDonald's lunch. I got nothing. I held. I did not get anything. I did steal a fryer too.
Oh, okay.
I stole a fryer too from the Happy Meal.
Good for you, Niz. That's terrible. I feel awful now. Good for you, though. That's fantastic. That's real willpower.
You're going to run home from work now. I know it. You're going to feel
I think
so
I already
bad.
told Julia twice that I usually run like 4 miles. I think I'm going to do like 10 tonight. It's just bothering me.
Wow.
I'm not really, but I feel like I should. Yeah.
It's been that I still have some pretty bad habits, but like eating healthier, I feel like I've progressed pretty well over the last few years.
Yeah, me too.
There was a time, even like 10 years ago, like at 30, I felt like I could just eat anything, and I did.
Yep.
And it was bad.
That
Now-
metabolism's not what it used to be, is it?
Catches up.
Yeah, it does
sure.
for sure. Hey, are we going to get some rain tonight? What are we looking at tonight in the next few days?
I don't think so. So like over the last 24 hours, things changed dramatically for this afternoon. It was once looking like we'd get some good storms this afternoon. Then it looked like it would fire up across Illinois. And sure enough, yes, that's where they did fire up. So we're in the clear. Partly cloudy skies becoming mainly clear tonight, a low of 61. Cold front has passed through, so we're already squeezing out the humidity. Things are going to be cooling down. Tomorrow, a high of only 73 in Milwaukee, inland 78. So maybe shut off the AC and open up the windows if you choose again for tomorrow. As we head into Saturday, partly cloudy, a high of 74, inland 78, with a slight chance of rain, mainly west of Milwaukee Saturday evening. Sunday, we start heating up again. Partly cloudy and breezy, very warm and humid, slight chance of storms, a high of 88. And then on Monday, partly cloudy, breezy and muggy, chance of storms and back to 90 degrees. That could be a start of a string of 90-degree days Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Brian Nisnansky, who bought nothing despite the fact he was at the McDonald's
Can't
drive-thru.
believe that.
In the line. Oh, it was so hard. I almost got a McFlurry, too. It was so bad.
They have the new Grandma McFlurry.
I was wondering what was in that.
Julia and I had that. We tried that here in the studio for a segment. It was pretty good. Didn't have like caramel.
Yes, that's right, John.
It's supposed to taste like
Cookie
what's in
dough or
Grandma's
no?
purse. I think it had like a butterscotch flavor and...
It had a Werther's butterscotch.
That's what it
in
tasted
too.
like.
Just like a Werther's.
Yeah, it was good. All right, talk to you
So
tomorrow.
good.
Miss.
See ya later.
It's 5:42 at WTMJ. Up next, Ryan Stile talking about what Donald Trump did or did not say in that meeting about Milwaukee. Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me every Saturday at 1 o'clock for Experience Wisconsin. I'd love this half hour on the radio. We spin you around the state from north to south, east to west, and check in with some of the very cool places you might want to hang out. This week, it's the Peninsula Players in Door County.
You are welcome to come early, stroll the grounds, see the beautiful landscaping, watch the sunset.
And Ishnala Supper Club, a super special place near the Dells. Join us this Saturday at 1 o'clock for Experience Wisconsin right here on 620 WTMJ.
Did you know that the Inflation Reduction Act can save you thousands on energy-efficient updates like new insulation, siding, windows, and more? And these dollars are in addition to focus on energy rebates. I'm Randy Miller, owner of All Right Home and Remodeling and S&E Insulation. As Department of Energy Century Club award winners, my team has the proven skills and experience to help you take advantage of these unprecedented incentives. Get started at ALLRITE remodeling.com.
Speaking about remodeling, how about remodeling your lawn? With Landworks Landscape, they'll help you achieve your dreams by creating beautiful landscapes, fresh ideas, great solutions. They're doing the work at my house. It's Landworks. LandworksWisconsin.com is the website. Their landscape architects and horticulture team members are also project managers. You've got a single point of contact when you deal with them. The guy Joe's been out evaluating my house, what we can do. Enthusiastic, experience. Their craftsmen are courteous. Their crews do all the work. It's a locally owned landscape company. They're the best. Take your yard and make it beautiful. Take your beautiful yard and take it to